क्या बोलती कंपनी कमाइले बहुत मनी आड़े चाले बंद कर मुंह में लेके कम कर। कैसे हो गाइस? आओ। जरा लेट हो गया। कोई भी गालियां नको दो मेरे को कमेंट्स में, तुम ना मेरे को गालियां दिए घर जाएगा। 80,000 का चश्मा, 80,000 का। ठीक है। जेनजी और से G2 दिख रहा है अभी भी। ओ भाई अभी तक चल रही है मैच। तगड़ा हो गया क्या? भाई कुछ तगड़ा हो गया। कुछ तगड़ा हो गया दिख रहा मेरे को। भूलने मिल गया क्या मैंने देख क्या हो गया गाइस? अरे कोई तो tournament
is remarkable. In all of the important moments against Wolves and against G2.
कुछ तो हो गया गाइस तगड़ा।
But G2 would not give up, would not give in. And I think Valen's right. I think they have changed the narrative at this tournament today.
भाई छोटू टेक्सचर में ऐसा दिखना लगा हुआ है, क्या हो गया? कुछ हुआ? कुछ गंदा हुआ है बेचारे के साथ।
It's an earlier exit than they wanted, but for now we are celebrating G2. They've earned the right to continue on one hell of a run through the lower bracket. I can't even imagine what's going through their heads, and I feel for the Gen G guys as well.
Score क्या?
But that kind of comeback does not happen often. And my God, the grit it takes. We're going to send it down to the floor now. Take it away for the Verizon
comeback कर दी क्या?
There is a reason why you should never doubt G2. They proved it again. But the question on my mind.
भाई तो तुम level 4 से आ रहे हो तो शर्म की बात है भाई।
Quite a lot of individual brilliance from every single one of you.
Let's see.
Still slips his way through. But
Icebox था ये टट्टी मैप है भाई।
Icebox तो out and away with a paranoia. Foxy9 is available as a bit of backup and he's out into the open. What a monster shot! There's a jumping to set them up, but still G2 have the weaponry. They have the guns, rifles in hand. And it is cheeky plays on order. Leaf will take that timing happily. You can hear it. Scuffling of footsteps, and he knows exactly where he is.
That's really nice. Even maximizing the ultimates there, throwing the spike over to Trent in the 4v1, realizing that they've comfortably got the round and they can get closer to a Hunter's Fury. No disrespect to the Gen G players though, they can hit shots. That jumping shot onto Jonah P was shot onto Jonah P was
disgusting.
But they haven't been able to put it together all at the same time in an eco round. 4 in a row for G2, and they've cut the advantage down to just 3. Weapons back though, including this operator. But G2 are not heading towards it.
Gen G still have all the tools. Nanoswarm dealt with. Important one to break. Allows Karon to just stay perched up.
I mean, it looks to me like Karon wants to try to deny Leaf's ultimate. He's got this smoke here so that he can punish Leaf as he gets close.
Did he hear it? Not sure if it's a silent jump up or not, but a drone clearing forwards. Karon, another one, and he's
देखेंगे वो मैच स्टार्ट होने कितना टाइम लगता है कि सेंटिनल्स का.
He's got coverage and he's got backup. A lockdown for a lockdown.
Can Valin throw a smoke to allow Jonah P to lurk up past this turret? He doesn't have one online just yet. But I could imagine that Jonah would be calling for it right now.
Sneaking and crawling. G. Fill up that space towards A once more.
Oh, they're smoking off the alarm bot instead.
Level 4
feel like a threat underneath Tube.
G2 पर आ तो आज
squeeze onto somebody.
Fnatic के तो फिर तो लड़ने लग गए.
G2
versus
Sentinels
होगी.
For G2,
they've got to do it. Valin off on the side there. Kills exchange is traded out. Foxy9 in through mid, and again this game of timings, it could happen to any possible player. Leaf wins his, Ash wins out. Jonah P is spotted though, out towards it, top towards Kitchen, and Ash is in a precarious spot.
3v3.
Where do you run? The entirety of site is gained by G2. B main control is still theirs. Peeking out wide though, TextureJ's not scoped up for it.
टेक्सचर को बहुत गंदा मारा. टेक्सचर के शक्ल पे दिख रहा था बहुत.
Slipping away from Gen G. They've got to try and answer back here. Trent is lucky. Doesn't go down to that one, and Gen G are the ones falling, crumbling. Ash in a 1v2. The time ticking.
किधर प्लांट दिए लोग?
Entrenched positions here from the G2 players. Snake bite Ash, sticking, half. Earns himself a possibility, but against two players it would have to be ridiculous. Tough, not being forced out. G2,
level
2 collected.
Level 4 से खींचा इधर तक ये.
What a round, what composure there from G2. Original game plan of going over towards A with the lockdown stifled, but Jonah P's lurk position up tube allowed them that mid-round possibility. Gave an option for Valent to move the chess pieces around and checkmate Gen G's defensive setup. Karen and Texture were in a tricky position down there towards yellow, but they couldn't make anything happen. Trent's kill on Texture was massive. And despite having 21 kills right now across 20 rounds, Texture has slowed down a bit with the impact. He hasn't quite been able to find those opportunities with his operator. A G2, 5 in a row. Something at this tournament is causing Gen G to not be able to close out maps cleanly. And it could kill him.
इसका 4/10 करना है
Second
क्या?
time out for Gen G, the last one left here. They might be ahead for now, but they have been losing grip of the series. G2 is not a team you want to allow in. Give them an inch and they will take a mile. G2 are hunting for their own chance of redemption. Chance to continue their story in this tournament. A chance to even make it to the finals, to right the wrongs of Bangkok. And they're hungry for it. You can tell the energy has flipped.
Gen G had all the belief. 11-4 up, they felt like they were immortal. It was their destiny. And now, I think you're absolutely correct, Brandon. The hope is starting to kindle in the hearts of G2. In fact, it's already there. I mean, you can see how they're playing.
Yeah.
Gen G forced down onto another eco. One of the first times, actually, that we're seeing G2's economy properly starting to get out of control.
Jonah P's got a lot to watch here. Yeah, there's a big play forward. He just hears the jump, and that left him correcting for the wrong angle. Caron puts him down, puts him to bed. Jonah P no longer that threat onto the lurks. Deep push out through mid. He's holding the line for now. There's a plan down with nothing to push this back. Jorgamo getting a wall involved. Double face, double swing. Leaf still wants to square up, potentially to deal with these players because it is a heavy investment. Bodies arriving.
He's got Trent as well for support.
Backstab.
Just trying to do the best here. Texture might get chopped down to the knees, and meanwhile this fight taking place. Yes, chopped down indeed. Cut down before he can make a stand and an attempt of this one. Ash is forward now, right?
अरे मैं मैच नहीं देख रहा था गाइस तब से थंबनेल गेम
No hesitation, trying to flip this one around. Paranoia still catches. They're trying to take out Foxy9 before he can get going. Trading up towards the top. Valin
Bad for you guys.
lights out with the calling. With the plays, G2 are up to 10.
Some mightily impressive mid-round calling there from G2. After losing Jonah P early, you've always got the opportunity to go back and try to clear that flank, and instead calling for the fast pivot in, realizing that Gen G were playing retake on A. They're going to free plan and flip the map, force the fight into Foxy9. Look at the ult situation. And this is why that round, I think it was 18, was so important. Because Gen G had their chance to go up to 12, and they squandered it. Now G2, with all of the advantages, looking to equalize.
They're moving forward. It's a slow, relentless march towards the A side of the kill. Collected for Valen once more. Added up. Total it overall. It's full site control now for G2. Slight gap, potentially over. But a pit now is going to be removing all of those sight lines. How do Gen G play into this? They're backing away.
No way.
They're backing away. They're saving.
Giving up already?
They're giving up the round.
That's unbelievable.
G2 छोड़ दिए.
A freebie.
It's a freebie, and on the precipice.
Anything like that to Eco. G1. 7 rounds in a row.
7.
After an 11-4 lead to tie the game back up.
Blessed with an absolute banger of a map and a series overall. G2 are ready to run away with it. It's up to Gen G to stop them now.
Looking for a tag early so that Trent can lead with a Hunter's Fury here. Try to find a pick. Not given anything though for Gen G.
इधर
Tuck
दो
tight
है.
to Gen. Repositions, moves around. Shocks forward here. The drone needs to be taken care of.
And Texture hasn't had a big round in a while.
Crouched up, off angle. Hoping to take out a belt player.
तो ये लोग
Wherever else
भाई
he may be
हारने
aiming.
में
This is
ठीक
5
है. एक
players
राउंड
at
तो
G2
निकाल के
grouped
आते
up.
भाई.
The thing is though, if Tex just swings and takes a risk here and goes 1
Level
for
4
1,
से 13
Jorg's just going to
level
get the
हुआ
rest.
बस.
So you kind of
और क्या?
disincentivized to play
और कितना
aggressively
गंदा
here
हार
as the
खेलेगा.
Jet on defense.
क्या कर रहा है भाई?
Swarm grenade.
And that one was intended for a turret. That's in a different spot entirely.
And it really
Broken.
makes it feel like G2 are making a call to go back in towards B. This is going to keep 3
जल्द से
players
Sentinels का मैच स्टार्ट करो.
solidified, cemented on B, leaving Texture alone.
Texture is alone. One of our players in the MVP running, he's lit up like a bloody Christmas tree, and he has to try and back the hell out. Counter spam, trying to follow the tracers, but he's forced to give this one up. Down on the other side of things, not dealt with in time. Jorgemon forced to just back away. There's 27 seconds left. Gen G, they got players in. Trying to play this one a bit fast and loose. The wall up through onto one of the angles. Ass is dropped down.
प्लांट करने नहीं देने. set.
Will there be kills? Will be collected? Will there be kills? Will they claim?
हगे इल्ला हगे इल्ला हगे.
Hunter's Fury
अब
push
समझ
them
गया.
back to the brink. Gen G
ऐसा आगने पे तो हारना बनता है
are
तुम.
desperate now. They group up. It's a last hurrah to try and get themselves to 12 to prevent G2
ऐसा
from
आ रहे तो
getting
हारना
to
बनता है.
12, but they give it up.
It's a save again! They're accepting the fact, and G2 immediately on the hunt!
No remorse.
Looking to try to deny the guns, deny the weaponry, leave knife out, running them down. The hunt is on.
And they can feel it. Throw caution to the wind. Claim the
ओहो
kills.
तब भी
claim
मार रहा रे बाबा
it.
यानी.
You'll take nothing further into the next. Munchkin
बहुत पैसा है.
trying to stay alive, but to no avail. G2 are up to series point.
How have we got to this position? We were talking all throughout Haven and Icebox of grit and tenacity from Gen G to get back into this game, to get up to the lead. They should have been able to close this out. It was 11-4, and it's writ all over Texture's face. He wears his heart on his sleeve,
बेचारा
and he
है
can't
Texture.
find his footing in this game anymore.
Round 24, potentially the most important round in these players' careers for this year, for this match, for this event.
A bit more aggression here from Gen G at the start of the round. They're not afraid at least to put their bodies on the line and go down, break that turret. But it is Munchkin alone, still defending B as other players rotate away from him. Entirely the wrong read.
Munchkin, he's alone doing this. He hears the U to the paranoia. It's a good connection inside the smoke, though, dominating the angle. Shots are fired, wrapping around him, though. He's caught that timing, and it's a bullet to the back of the dome. Leaf, instant correction, traded out, and the wall is still up for the safe plan. Ults are online. Gen G, they're playing for overtime. G2 playing to close this out. Lockdown. To Hunter's Fury committed. An ult for an ult.
तीनों इसको मारना अब ये चूतिए को. पर सुबह में सोच के खींच के मार रहा भुल्ले का टुटराने वाले 3 मारना अब ये भयंकर लड़े को.
Waiting patiently. Util to
क्या
come
है
back
वो
online.
लॉकडाउन
Smokes
पूछने वाले को.
are blooming, blossoming. Fuel is up. Players are set in their position. A dash forwards. But Texture's gone. G2. Ever a hero. Ever a miracle team. They're looking to put the fear of God.
Sorry,
the
Texture
team
bhai.
after that, and he couldn't get any opportunities in America's Bay. He had to go
do nothing
all the
for you.
way to Europe to get on another Tier 1 team.
Hey, we'll take him. We'll love him. We'll give him the love. We've brought it back to a global
noob,
stage.
guys.
On the other side, funny enough, you're speaking about Crashies going now to EMEA. On the other side, we have Narrate, who you didn't believe in. We believed in him. Put him in Tier 1. Funny enough, the last match that Narrate played on EMEA was against Fnatic, and they also lost. So it is also the redemption from both of the sides.
Oh,
Nobody
boy.
likes each other.
Yeah,
but they all
clearly,
do.
clearly. But you know what Fnatic does like? Bringing new ideas to the table.
मैं
because
तो
I
एक
think we're here.
नजर
We saw some
बस
interesting stuff here. We
एक
saw some-
नजर
Yeah,
बस
come on, you know.
That's news. That's big news.
Also, give me the ability to segue into that content, okay, Bea? Goodness gracious. No, I'm kidding, of course. But here's the thing, though. We did see some new ideas from this Fnatic team, which, to your point, Bea, is a thing that you don't see a lot from this Fnatic roster. But I think it goes to show how much they have grown over the course of time with this new team.
Exactly, and especially if we think about the fact that it was in Ascent, something that maybe we did not expect, and many teams, definitely RRQ, may have not predicted, because in Lotus, this composition we've seen from them for a very, very long time. Staple, same as for Haven. Those compositions, they've shown for a very, very long time. They created the mid round, and many people followed after.
बस एक नजर तुम लोग के लिए
To identify them from.
It ended up being
Gusale,
really fruitful
gusale.
though. Alpha it's starting on the attacking
अंदर ही ले
side
लेना
of this map.
अल्फा
Had
से उसको
such
अंदर ही ले
great
ले
work. I
अपने
love the way that not only was he finding value on the lurks, but on a lot of rounds he was entering with the team, setting up his TP gate in main, and then walking into these sites and basically just being
अंदर ही ले ले उसको
turret in the post plants, continuing to fight forward. That continued into the second half of this match as well. It was a great map for Alpha, a player who struggled earlier in this tournament, but stepped up. Elimination was on the line.
And in many occasions, as you're saying, he
क्यों
has
मान लेना वो
not
shot
been
देख
showing
के?
up. On Haven, for example, when we saw him with the ISO,
ऐसा
he
करके मारा
has us used to a performance that is off the charts. And it was not until Ascent when we saw him back in the chamber that I feel he was comfortable enough. The aggression that he was able to show, covering an A and putting all that pressure in the map, is if Alpha is having that kind of day, you better pray it doesn't happen until map 3.
Yesterday for Fnatic, when they played, that was for me showing that the veterans can step up to the guys who have been around for a while. Alpha, Chronicle, they both had really good matches. And it was for the most part, you know, looking towards guys like Kayak, that rookie player.
क्या इन लोग एंट्री करती क्या बुल्ला आके बैठ गया ना फिर से क्या
coming
एंट्री
online in this lower bracket.
And then, of course, on the other side, though, you have Sentinels who, look, they had some great games here in Toronto, but that PaperX game, man, that split 13-3, Kukuka, an absolute thrashing. And even though Sunset went down to the wire, it was still PaperX's game. They walked away with that 2-0. You know, Sentinels had to be mad about that.
Absolutely, especially the way that this Sunset ended with, was it John QT
गांडू
able
लगती
to
रे
get
भाई
that
कल
final kill, that sneak defuse literally
अबे
in
हो
his
ना
face
फिर क्या
across
मारा
the smoke.
जिंग तुम ना प्यारे से फाइनल में
I'm
मिलो
sorry, I just saw that Jing kill again and I couldn't
हाँ उठा
stop
के
myself
पटकते बोल रहा हूँ
Reacting.
bursting out because it was just crazy what PaperX was doing. This map 1 was an absolute slobber knocker. They destroyed them in this game, and Sentinels, they looked shocked, right? The players weren't trading for each other. No one was hitting their shots. They were completely out of that. And it's heartbreaking for them to come really close on Sunset, to making that comeback happen, to getting back into that game. But for them, fortunately, it doesn't come through. Now
why they leaving match
this lower bracket and a really tough opponent.
But for Fnatic, now that we were seeing those maps, they've always loved split. So for now, for today, it is a question mark if they're going to leave it open, showing what they showed yesterday in the face that we see that we saw when they played against PaperX.
Yeah, it's very true. But of course, you know, when you think about split and who's going to be the players that will step up in those situations, got to always lean on the pride of New Jersey there, because you got Zekin, who could very well be the difference maker for this team, Mimi, as we saw him really perform in that PaperX game despite the loss.
Absolutely. Zekin has been really good in all of this tournament. Back on Sunset, had some really impactful rounds, especially on that defensive side. Still had the confidence up. You reflect on this team here, you look at their failure in Bangkok. Zekin was the one right after they got eliminated from that tournament, sitting down and having the hard conversations with the team, criticizing himself, the other players, the team, and really helping them to focus in on finding improvements for stage 1. They found those to the final against G2, made it close, and are now here again. He's more than just a young aimer, Bea.
And speaking about conversations, back when we were in Madrid, the conversation about the MVP was still not a thing. We were still not handing out the bracelets, but that bracelet would have been for second. So he has now a chance to enter the conversation.
Of course,
if he survives
of course.
today,
You are right,
to become
ma'am.
the MVP
Of
of
course.
Ain't that the truth? Well, earlier Yinsu
Sassy?
had an opportunity to catch up with the captain of the squad. Here's John Cutie.
Every day is a good day when we get to hear from the
Of
one and only
course.
John QT. Now, John, in these tournaments, as you know, it is very important to be able to recover after a tough loss. I wanted to ask you, what is your role when it comes to the emotional and the mental comebacks of Sentinels?
Just making sure the team always believes that we can win, and bad days happen, which happened yesterday. And yeah, obviously not our first rodeo. We've been here before in Madrid and Champs. And kind of funny, it was against Fnatic 2 in Champs, and we had the better of them. So yeah, just making sure everyone is focused, motivated, and ready to make a run. Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Huh?
And you heard John mention that there. This
Yeah,
guy
can enter
took
with
his
HDD.
team to a trophy in Madrid, and that was his first international appearance, and this guy managed to hoist the trophy over his head. You know he's got what it takes to lead his team to the promised land.
That was his rookie year after failing to ascend with M8. He got the big opportunity to play for Sen, to lead this team, and he led them out of the rut.
100 rupees only. Anyone coming?
That was probably the worst year for this organization.
Anyone
And
giving
now,
100 rupees?
in his sophomore year as a leader, trying to beat Fnatic again
Visit
and go
America
on to
stage
try
1
for another
second.
trophy.
And he also mentioned as well,
Last to do
Kukuka, which
first
we
first.
covered in the beginning, that champs match
first?
as well.
Madrid
So John
Madrid
is
the first
very
movie,
familiar with the
Kickoff?
pressure of these situations and quite familiar with the fact that he's got to play against Fnatic in the same situation.
Yeah, to me, it's the turnover time. Like
Yeah.
if you want to have a good match against either Sentinels or Fnatic, you would pressure that time.
Yes,
But you're
yes.
not
Are
going
you
to have
China
it in
wale
this
did nahi
instance.
aaj?
Everything that you had prepared had to be ready already.
You absolutely do, but there's a great IGL on the other side. Boaster kept his team in that game after the brutal loss on map 2. They both proved to be strong mental leaders in this tournament thus far. But for Fnatic, there's the extra chip on the shoulder with that rematch from Champs.
Both of these teams could very well be contesting for a trophy when it's all said and done. But what makes this matchup even better is that it is a classic Americas versus EMEA clash. You love to see it. It's of course going to be a challenge no matter how you slice it, because on the one side you have a very game and prepared Fnatic that knows they have what it takes to go to the top. But on the other you have Zekin and the boys who could very well lead the charge. Folks, let's bring out your two teams and welcome Sentinels and Fnatic.
आज केजे नंबर काय नंबर काय दीदी लग गई गोली हाँ एंट्रेंस के लिए अभी स्टार्ट करो 2-0 तो नहीं होता ये मैच so be ready guys, the best match ever. भाई कॉनिकल आ शेर है सामने
It's the last chance for EMEA versus the pride of the Americas. And could it come down to two better teams in this situation? You have Fnatic, a squad that has time and time again proved to be one of the best that the region has to offer, whereas Sentinels, they've been here before. They've lifted a trophy over their head, just like Fnatic have, so neither of these teams are shy from the spotlight.
And Fnatic has had such a resurgence since that kickoff. They are proved to feel renewed coming into this tournament. And as we take a look at the Omen map select, Sunset is going to be the first map. Sentinels wants to run it again. And of course, they've decided to ban that split after what happened yesterday against Paper X, Mimi.
It is interesting to see Fnatic picking into Ascent. When you watch them in EMEA, they're almost always picking Haven, Icebox, or Split. Those are the big three. But a lot of those maps are a crossover with the strength for Sentinels, whereas their Ascent a little less tested. And Fnatic, of course, this is the map where Alpha brought out the chamber and dominated Pacific's #1.
And I think that one of the reasons why they probably went for that Ascent is because I do not think they showed even 20% of what they have
For
ready in that map,
60
because we saw very repetitive
Hello.
rounds and
It
an
was a stop.
RRQ. Yeah, and
Let's
an
go.
RRQ that had no response
Pahile
to dealing with the
Yep.
Vice, dealing with the chamber. So I think that that is what gave them confidence for today.
Samajh
And
gaya na,
also,
patro?
we were speaking about the time. No, the team's not having time. Preparing against something like that is very specific, and we need to look at the coaching staff for that.
Yeah, that, and really Coach Kaplan as well as Coach Milan have their work cut out for them. Let's also dial the time back to Champs, because let's not forget, Sunset was the battleground where these guys first played when they face off against each other, Mimi, at Champions. It was a 13-11 scoreline in favor of the Sentinels, but that just goes to show you that this one really can fall either way.
It certainly can, and for the Sentinels here, I mean, they've always had a bit of a home ground on Sunset. Fnatic still trying to prove that map, show us what they have ready to go. If they can beat Sen there, then go into an Ascent, that is such a strong showing for them going into a lower round 3 against G2 after the break.
Yeah, definitely the map that Sentinels have prepared the most, and probably why we see all of those pictures down there and all of those reads, is because Sentinels has chosen this Sunset every single time that they have the opportunity to do so. We've spoken about second, how he set up, how he runs across the map, and the man on your screen right now, is going to face up one of the biggest challenges of his career today.
Oh man, you can feel the energy in the air as well. The fans are on their feet. Everyone's ready for this one because they know the stakes. Both these teams thought that they would be contesting for a trophy right now when they faced off against each other. But here they are fighting, scrapping for a top 4 placement. And the pressure is on in a way that I don't think I've felt before at a BCT global event for some reason. You feel it. It just, like the people, the anticipation's through the roof here.
It's there, but these are also two teams that feed off that energy. You've seen Celsius, you've seen Boaster, probably this tournament's 2 best emotional leaders playing to this crowd here in Toronto, standing up, feeling that energy and channeling it to win, to make it to this point.
Round after round, we've been seeing, fan after fan I spoke to, actually, it's split down the middle. You ask them, who do you want, Fnatic, do you want Sentinels? It's wild, Kukuka.
It's very difficult to choose.
How can you?
If you're a Valorant fan, you want both of the teams to make it through, but of course that cannot happen. There can only be one survivor today. Can Sentinels bounce back from that loss yesterday, or is it going to be just like Gen.G and they're going to be defeated? I think that especially this first map, this Sunset, is going to have a lot of tells in the first 6 rounds. I think that the team who deals better with the nerves of the situation that they're in will succeed.
All right, well, agent select now. See what we get. Zekin, of course, is going to be rocking that neon there, and see what we end up getting for both teams as they look to lock this one in, Mimi.
Fnatic really does not play Sunset. Since that game we talked about, where they lost to Sentinels back in Champions Seoul, the only time they played it was their loss to Gen.G. This is very much uncomfortable territory for them, but with the map changes, being a team that permabans Pearl, they're going to have a good Sunset.
Yeah, coming into the tournament, having a permaban, being a team like Fnatic, but still having that downside of there's a place that we do not want to go in this Sunset that they've never liked. Now they're both combined together, right? You cannot ban both of them, and they had to be ready to face off Sunset. Again, the loss against Gen.G, there were many painful things happening. First of all, they won both pistols, and they were unable to convert any of the other afterwards. So that allowed their opponent to get in their hairs, to get the confidence, and get snowballing way before them.
This is it, folks. Last match before we lock in our top 4. The pressure couldn't be higher. The audience, everyone in here is losing their minds as they get ready for this game. You see everything all locked in and ready to go. And you gotta wonder, who wants it more? Toronto, who do you think wants it more? Do you think Sentinels want it more?
Sentinels, of course. Let's go, let's go.
Do you think Fnatic want it more? Oh boy, the crowd is ready for this one, folks. Let's do this. It's EMEA's last stand, so it's only fitting that we send it over to Pansy and Hypoc on the mic.
And look, I'm not above sending them home with a smile on my face. Mike, this is a tale of 2 Titans in Toronto. A matter of survival now. We start on Sunset. Where's your mind going?
Yeah, I don't want to say it's a little bit of a surprise, because obviously I think Sentinels no shocker there to lean into.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
To see that this is really going to set the tone for this series. Again, everything on the line here. Elimination basically looming for both of these teams, and some concerning losses previously, the more so being that Gen G loss for Fnatic.
Oh, it is heavy weighted, right? There's a lot to be looked at here between the two. Anything about the composition standing out to you? Is it literally going to come down to who wants it more? I mean, GB was saying it, and I agree. This is one of those grudge matches where you've got to turn up on the day.
Any given Sunday, it's the form that's going to decide this one. No surprise, maybe some tweaks along the way, but we should have an absolute banger to open the series. Things for Fnatic set up outside A right now, and actually a heavier stack for Sentinels and Ray actually core sights off. Fnatic will proceed forwards.
Yep, and already Zelsis with an opportunity. Doesn't get too much pressure, and avoiding that paranoia allows him a little bit more breathing room. Kayak would love to squeeze that away from him. Good trade from Bang though. Again, that spike hesitant so far, but has actually skipped a little further ahead. So they're trying to carve a path forward, Fnatic. Looking for some more options, and Zekan's not allowing that already. Denial in front of them, obvious. And broad as daylight, Sentinels off to the start they wanted.
Fnatic almost playing into that pinch there, a little desperate to try and recover. Just too much damage done all the way in. Seemingly find the opener they needed, but it's Bang to really turn this back. Chronicle falling as well.
One enemy remaining.
We were just talking as well, Kayak, this is probably the biggest challenge he's faced so far. In terms of the head-to-head today, Zekan one of the best. You cannot doubt that. Certainly all eyes towards him.
Yeah, and Zekan's proven it time and time again, right? Tournament after tournament, it's always been exceptional. For Kayak, it's a impressive run. And he'll show you why. Quick two. Kayak and Balss are going to feel that. Zen don't want to allow Fnatic to get off even the starting blocks.
Off the rip here. It's Alpha with a Sheriff though. He's the one that's probably going to look for a pick. Right, almost entertaining the idea. Actually the trade-off, Alpha down to 20 already. That Sheriff in check for the time being.
Right here.
Goes, yeah, off angle from Bang.
I've got to say for me as well, Bang is such an unsung hero of the Sentinels team. I mean, there's a lot of personality to that Sentinels side, but Bang is always such a safe pair of hands, such a solid player. And Alpha? Nice shot. Need a whole lot more. And it looks like Narrate would like to close his count down, and he does. Safety found for Sentinels in the first two. Rather unfazed thus far.
देखिए उसके टीममेट हम देखो रे
comfortable as well.
मेरे बड़े भयंकरों को देखो
4 of the weapons here recovery.
हंसता कैसे टीममेट ने गन फेंक लेगा
Well, that's going to deter Fnatic initially.
गन रही है तो उठा के चल जाते हो
Certainly a challenge with the upper hand for sure.
ले पहले
With Bosa looking like actually might settle for just a Guardian here. Don't expect him to be at the forefront of this buy round, but certainly get an indicator here for pace.
ये राउंड जीतो मेरी खड़ी कर दो उसके बाद आगे देखेंगे
from Fnatic. Just putting out the feelers, yeah, Zekan on a deep angle here.
Yeah, it's a question mark of how long he holds it. Again, staying out for too long, but an initial show of force. You can see a little bit of a deeper exploration over towards that A side as well, putting up that smoke, controlling this space. Zekan still with this line. No light shields on the other side, so it won't have that same validity, but it can certainly do some good chip.
140.
Oh, yeah, could be feeling the brunt of that down to 10, and that's an early big bit of damage.
निकाल लिया.
Now Fnatic looking to
कैमरा का निकाला ने शानदार.
Bang will be called upon. What is actually just shouldering the ankle there, knife out.
इधर पास में जा दिखा
Gonna get away with no damage actually.
निकल गया चलो.
Already bodies in the right place for Sentinels. 45 seconds left on the clock. I think now Fnatic
B जाते हैं और क्या?
Motion towards B to once again pull that rotation.
But you got to look towards the mid-map. Look how deep they're sitting on this. A couple of players maybe just keeping an eye on if you kind of want to put Bang into the equation. But the Sentinels, they're not giving Fnatic opening chances. They're not allowing them these picks. Even Zekan, who did have that deeper line initially towards B, slipped back towards Pillar. Again, playing these deeper angles, and Kayak
अरे कैसा मारा रे बैगन की मेरी.
It's that second removed. Zelts is then going to try and find some timing. 14 seconds of Fnatic looking for the plant. Alpha gets it done. Zelts is maintaining the space, but the rotations are coming in.
Be careful here. Actually, could get overwhelmed towards CT, but actually the stun comes through. Kayak, he's going to find another one.
He's found two, finally caught in the heels by Bang. But you're looking for Boaster now to pick up the slack. Already slipped ahead.
Nice one.
Bang.
3v3.
Step after step, 2 kills for him. 3v3 in
Bang
the post
क्या ही
plant.
मार रहा है.
Now looking for Fnatic to try and
They-
find some sort of answer. Can't get knocked out of sight here. Zelsis actually doubles down.
An Alpha, an unknown position, but now given away. But
Nice one.
it's a 3K and it's dreamy from him. You know he's standing up. You know he's reminded them of who they are on this server. That retake, really special stuff here. Kayak though.
Zeltis आज तेरे ऊपर रील डाला फिर से पैसा कर रहा. दूसरी रील कर दिया.
Enemy remaining.
Ghost as well, the HP
Player
just makes
standing.
When Zeltis
a little
began in the
cautious to
tukka.
continue pressuring towards CT.
Yo, Boaster brother, आज Zeltis.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of a fumble here on the bonus, but all credit due to Sentinels to convert.
I'm out of here.
Minimal investment here, a Guardian, a couple of Sheriffs, some Stingers. It's only the Neural Theft available for Fnatic.
I got my
Not much
eyes
point
on
around 4 here.
Eco है ना इन लोगों का? Anti-eco?
And this, it feels rather similar, doesn't it, to
Anti
that
वाला
second
eco
round. Second over towards
Very tempered early rounds here from Fnatic. We want to get a feel for some of the setups here, but not necessarily any
ये क्या मार रहा रे ने?
variation so
Hey.
far from Sentinels, so
Okay, small.
so
God
snappy.
damn, that was quick.
क्या मार रहा रे?
Zeltis not feeling particularly pressured. He can just cycle those one ways still. He knows that market pressure is now a little bit less
क्या confidence
deadly.
है side घुस गया
Okay,
है?
these shots are hitting a while. Boaster, almost didn't finish his dinner. But second, quick as lightning, dives
क्या
and
मार रहा
removes.
रे?
It's easy
अरे,
for Sentinels. Not a
मजाक
sentence
नहीं.
I expected to be saying yet, but they don't look phased at all.
Coasting through these
तेरे
early
खाली
rounds.
घुस के.
Fnatic probably need to get a grip on things pretty early on.
Maybe a timeout,
I was going to say,
something.
would be surprised to see an early timeout here. And haven't really forced any sort of adjustments from Sentinels just yet. Zekken happy to stand his ground.
Let's go.
Yeah, we'll see a timeout here.
Mute क्या? Mute क्या?
Early pump of the brakes from Fnatic.
They look cold, Mike. It feels like they're, you know, not getting much say in the way these rounds go. We've seen how deep Sentinels are sitting, making them
4-0?
really play to try and get into these sites, trying to take that market control that's not working.
4-0.
I mean, Zekken's been controlling that like a champion, right? Every time, hard to clear. Then you can throw in Zelsis to the mix, whoever you want, bang, playing it back in from kind of top middle. He's been excellent, 7-1 already. Yeah, Kayak's had a couple moments, but none of it's felt like it's a threat to the round.
Like I said, until they can force an adjustment, put basic Sentinels in a position to employ Zekken elsewhere, then maybe it's a positive for Fnatic to try and exploit such a thing. But towards the minimap here, it's pretty much carbon copy once more for Sentinels. Fnatic lean towards a set piece early on here. Said early. Slow default. Not really a
तुम लोग कुछ भी प्लान बनाओ रे. आज तुम्हारी मारी जाती सेंटिनल्स की तरफ से. लिख के ले लो. लिटा लिटा के देते, लिटा लिटा अंधेरी रात में दिया तेरे हाथ में हो जाता मसला आज देखो.
We want a bit of a game here, really. Yeah, a couple ops nearby. Kayak's not too far off. Neither is Crashies. Kayak off to a quick beginning, but the stall instantly comes out. Prowler to follow, so they know that they've still got that nice line over from elbow. Kayak has done well on his entries, but it's a tough endeavor, and Bang's been so cold with holding this as well, just shouldering it before in those earlier rounds.
Might even be a re-clearance here.
अरे ये प्रॉलर यहाँ ठहर के नक्को कर रहे भाई तू.
Layered with the flash from John. Bang just taking a peek with the TP.
And the one thing I love about how Sentinels approach playing Fnatic, there's no fear about it. They play like they're the favorites, which you could argue they are in this scenario. There isn't that hesitation or worry. They are as calibered, as prolific as each other in that regard. And already a good read here. Look at the rotation coming in. You're going to start seeing John QT head over to the right side, catching towards top middle, joined by Narrate. They've got a good beat on what Fnatic want to do, but this slow, steady pace isn't catching anyone off guard yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, almost tailor-made to force Zekken a little deeper here with that paranoia.
Still have to give away the game if they want to close down towards him, though.
Yeah.
And there it is. Oh, that's good
Big
from Kayak.
Big win.
Yeah, and that was basically all building towards it. Now at 25 seconds, overwhelmed. Balss goes
Time
down.
out के बाद थोड़ा wait लेते हैं लोग हम.
And they've won it out. That was a very procedural round almost from Fnatic.
Zekken भाई का
The
aim
final three players, it's tough to come back into this.
Celsius भाई भी आ गया अभी तो.
Especially with such deep
रंगोली
control
बनाए.
from Alpha. So obviously boasted to complement
Plan
that as
भी हो
well.
गई थी जल्दी.
Still a way back in here if they can win a
Retake
couple of
कर
these
सकते हैं
gunfights, but the spy cam will reveal
दो का तो info आ गया.
Sentinels in mid.
मिल गया अब तो.
So you've got to pick up the pace now if they still want to make a go of this. They're probably just going to look for exits on the
सेव
other
ही कर लो
side.
और क्या.
Doesn't feel good to walk into market there.
मुंह लपेट
No,
के
we
रखे
could
रहे.
obviously see how many were waiting if they
इतना
did
time
decide to
by
go
कर
for
लिया
it. But for once, it does
1-4
feel
कर दो.
like that kind of
कल भी 1-4
isolation
ही
of
था.
Zekken worked out, right?
ऐसे
Mike,
ही.
he had to sit deep CT, and then you
यहाँ
had
से बुल्ले
pressure
रक्का में
to
ला
hold
ले
it.
रहे
It still
It's hard
doesn't
to
feel
hold.
great that Zekken can then sit on a deeper angle
Yeah.
on that, but I said that's why it's such a big win from Kayak. A window of opportunity after the paranoia is posted, unless you can scale up effectively and lock something like Zekken out of the site.
Yep.
Certainly doesn't feel like it's a guarantee.
Catch my eyes on
Fnatic on the
you.
board regardless though. So Neural Theft really seals the deal on this round.
So cute,
Nice,
little
boys.
glow
Really
sticks.
good round.
Yeah, I mean, even now, that doesn't look overly happily about it.
No, I mean, we saw frustration
Team
early, and that's
challenge,
not
yeah.
something you're used to seeing with
No, no,
Ghoster.
no.
He's very, very calm normally, if not always leaning towards a positive. But let's see how this looks. A little bit of an answer back for Sen's 4 rounds now. Kayak with ult, Crashies with
अरे
it on
प्रॉब्लम
line
यहाँ
two.
नहीं अटैक करना कर रहे
Contact off the
प्लीज.
Prowler and Bang getting curious. Flash in, swing!
Shot.
It's stunning from Bang. Answer found by Kron though takes away Narrate, who's meant to be that support system. But John QT
Arey,
caught on the
QT.
back away from that. He leant forward, it
Smoke
looked like
का
to try
wait
and
करना.
support what Bang was doing, but as it stands, they've given over the man advantage now.
उन्हें सपोर्ट करने हैं
Hopefully
उसके
just
लौड़े
as well,
लगे.
Boaster trying to pick
बांग
up
मार देता है ये
maybe
राउंड.
somebody in rotation.
लिख के ले लो बांग मार देता है ये
Celsius
राउंड.
on the chopping block for that. See, Alpha still has a cam here, but he's not spotted. Celsius has got ahead of it.
Oh my god,
सेल्सियस की राउंड है.
welcome to live events.
खत्म
See if
कर
you
दे
can figure it out.
सेल्सियस. सेल्सियस पीछे
Around we
देख.
go, completely unawares.
पीछे देख.
Gonna
निकल
clear
गए
this
लोग.
zone
पीछे
second.
देख सेल्सियस.
He's got the operator.
पट्टे.
He's been quick so far, but he's got a lot of pressure now coming his way. Decides against it. Holds that deeper line again. Good choice. And a great shot! Crashes goes down. Spike now spotted. Holding his space towards CT. Support's coming in and Zalsis on the flank. Yeah, they got sight, but
आराम से आराम से अपना राउंड है. अल्टी खींच दे
do they
पट्टे.
fight forward?
Still a trip
नहीं
actually,
है,
which
नहीं है,
will
कौन भी
reveal
नहीं है.
Zelsis' position. Zek gonna swap over to the rifle.
This is pressure now on two sides. Mike, that trip being broken. They don't know.
Found one.
What? How did Bang get that? Maybe a buff for smoke? I don't know. But Alpha with an uncut. Robbery, apparently. Chronicle makes it up to going to Fnatic's way, but bloody hell, that felt
अल्ट
close.
खींचना कॉर्नर क्यों चेक
I mean,
नहीं
the
कर
shift
रहा
walk
कोई
out as well
भी.
into Zekken's sideline. Still some question marks on this side of the map, for sure, but
And this
luckily-
is classic Tron, right?
yeah, oh, yeah.
निकल.
Happy
ये
to
ठीक
stand his
है.
ground here.
ये भी ठीक
So
है.
top of the smoke. It looked like it might have just come straight through.
Through,
but
yeah.
Enemy remaining.
Chronicle
निकल
delivering
निकाला
here.
4 किला. किरकिरी.
Maybe a swing
बाकी
round
किरकिरी.
for Fnatic. So retrieval of the operators as well. Alpha actually going to
Eco है ना
pick it up
लोगों ने. Eco
himself.
नहीं है अभी भी.
With how slow these
ये
early
देखो.
rounds have been, actually potential for maybe in a mid round
Zelsius
to pick
जरा
up
mid पे
Zelsius
पलट जाता
creeping
था ना.
elsewhere and find a pick off the back of it.
And again, for someone like Chronicle, those 4 were his first 4. But you need that, right? You need your backbone, that spine to the roster.
Deeper ahead of this poison orb now.
I love this diligence though
yes.
from Fnatic. They're feeling that there's variety to this and there would be adaptation.
Sentinels have shown that they want to re-clear this and fight for this space actively, so no surprise. to see
बी जाने
Fnatic
का ए जाने
sitting
का इन
back.
लोगों को.
These positions from Sen though, are they going to go for a re-clear in middle or a challenge on this? Look how actively they're playing. Oh, this is super deadly. And that's 2 players spotted. Stun going to come in. Crashies might be screwed here. Forced out of the corner. He's
निकल
still
गया.
fine. He
अरे
plays
भाई.
his life. This is so tense.
Even the aftershock just doesn't force onto a deep enough line, even with Zekken peeling away from that.
कितना
Again, 40
दिमाग
seconds
लगाया
on the
है
clock.
वन क्यूटी
Walk into potentially a site, just 2 members of Sentinels, but John QT, not sure the cooldown there on the fault line, will be able to apply some pressure here.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, we've got Narrate, Bang. You've still got a lot of util on Narrate. Same with Bang as well with Paranoia. Now the pressure. Narrate can't stand it too much util. Just the dart to turn his eyes. Bang now leans in. It's good for one.
अरे 140 140 140 एक 140 पट्टे
CT does it for now. Plant needed. No, that's a spike gun. Oh, it's an absolute fumble and a half.
I mean, Kayak was down to just 10 HP. He's desperate to get out of the way of it.
I
Oh,
am
you
the
can see it's cutting for him too.
Absolute heartbreak. It's not recoverable at that point.
No, that's spike gone. This is it. Oh, God.
Enemy remaining.
And if you're set, you're grinning, right? You're like, oh, nice one.
कैसे
Appreciate
गाली दे रहे
that.
उसको?
No plant to worry about. Perfect, but God, for Fnatic, that is going to be devastating.
अरे भाई काय कच्चा गाली दे
Certainly a tilter. 5-2 now the scoreline.
ये मैं इन पे ना मर जाए बस ये
Operator back in hand for Zekken as well.
I like this, though. He's gone deeper towards
So
B.
aggro, yeah. I mean, they've been given a little bit of freedom on the side of Sentinels towards
Marta,
the side of the map.
Marta,
Zeus is walking
Marta,
mid previously,
Zekken
getting ahead of that
Marta.
camera.
That's enough for him.
Definitely,
Zekken
yeah.
मारता
Don't think that jump spot saw it either. Careful now.
120 दिखाया
Didn't get the kill, but now Zelsis readies himself. He knows that pressure could be going through. Mark in the top middle is a place to be worried about. Kron slips the net.
Shot, Zekken!
Second, quick with it. Narrate in support. It's stunning. But still, look at the HP. Kayak down on 20.
20
Boaster,
30 easy
30. They are low in this.
नहीं पिक दिए तभी जीत जाते नहीं पिक दिए तभी
The
जीत
HP
जाते
between them. Bang, nearly caught the backside of them.
Oh, this reclear is so well timed. And the old Mike.
Might be able to get a plant away, but certainly not going to be comfortable regardless where Fnatic. But
बस
Zekken
ये
closed
round
the gap
drone आ जाए
so damn quickly.
And again, you've still got that Paranoia. Primed with Bang. There he goes. And that's going to catch.
सुना क्या
Shot through
हमने
the smoke.
सेल्सियस
And Zelsis going to catch Boaster. Now Kayak has to do.
Oh,
Christ! I was going to say miracles,
फिर
and he
भी
almost
मारा
did it.
निकल
good for the first, but Sentinels standing tall here. Nearly fell off my chair.
Look, if you hit another, I think I would have done the same. But as it stands, I'm going to be honest. By all accounts, this has been not looking too uncomfortable. It feels like they've got a good concept and a good read on what Fnatic are trying to achieve. They're handling the pressure well. It feels like there's not enough players to really pressure Sentinels. Second has been finding the spacing great to be able to fall back.
सेल्सियस की स्पेलिंग में रॉन्ग लिखा
Sitting towards CT, that market presence okay. Zelsis learning on the fly, slipping a little deeper, giving up. I haven't felt like Fnatic looked that deadly yet.
No, there's been a lack of pressure, really, on the side of Fnatic. Like I said, seemingly a lot of freedom for Sentinels on the B side of the map, and towards mid as well. First real switch up here as Zelsis over towards A.
This worries me. Just thought he was hands off keyboard for a second in the camera, so I was like, oh god, it's all good.
Do not speak it into existence.
ये क्या कर रहा है
So a lesser purchase here. 2 rifles on the side of Fnatic.
Trips on the site though, they don't know about this Zelsis. Again, maybe a good counter to Kayak's ult, maybe just be aware of what they'd want to be doing, but Bang needs to live. He's about to be overrun, he can't handle that. There's just too much going straight up towards that top mid side. Now a chance for Zelsis. Gets the spam, can't get the connect he didn't want, and has to back away.
So lucky to get out of that. Able to break the sight
इजी राउंड
line.
निकाल देता देख लो नरेट टालते नरेट मारता निकल जाती है क्या है टट्टी करना है पूरे
Fnatic.
Alright, go for the ult.
Certainly now with the pit.
Yeah,
मतलब
really
बहुत
deep
पैसा
hit
है
from
हाँ
Kron as
जाते
well.
रिटेक करने को जाते कैसा
That's
ट्राई
just
करते
gonna, I mean, that really cuts off CT. You can't even be considering it at that point. But then it funnels you forward. Already look at the 2 players, Boaster and Kayak on site. Eyes on that, that's wraps.
No shock to see Sentinels.
ठीक है सेव करने का कॉल अच्छा है सब कमिट
Do
कर
not
दियो
fancy their chances.
पांचों साइड पे रे भाई
Obviously holding to the operator. Again, funds really
Bang
looking
बेचारा
pretty
करता क्या
comfortable regardless at a 6-2 scoreline.
बैंक का बैंक बहुत सड़ा कर दिया
Ultimates to bring into the next, only really the TP for Boaster. Not much else to work around here.
कैमरा नहीं फुटता क्या
Almost having both initiator ultimates on the side of Sentinels.
6-3 ठीक है कजाक निकाल लिया राउंड
Here it is, the one kill that pretty much
इसको कोई
kills the
सपोर्ट
entire
करता है
round.
ना लोड लग जाता
Like doing that and then you throw in the pit on top from Kron. That's pretty much checkmate. He's already going back into it. Yes, I guess you could argue they did have narrate ult if they fancied it, but still, it was
roll of the
too
dice,
easy.
really,
Yeah, it just felt like too much of a risk to go for it. So for Fnatic, a bit of stability found, but this slow and steady pace certainly not setting my world on fire, but it has got them 3. Now, to continue forward would be fantastic. What's the adjustment here? What's the way they want to keep playing this? Because eventually Sen will figure out the tempo. That was off the back of that ult from Kayak.
So previously only 4 rounds
ऐसे
found
चिपक के
by
करना अच्छा या
Fnatic
दूर
versus
से
Gen
करना
G.
अच्छा आई
Maybe that's
चिपका के
a
रखूं
little
दूर से रखूं
hesitant here. Try and
It's a
draw
test
some
of
of these rounds out.
patience.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Look at this.
certainly not what you want to rely on. This doesn't really scream confidence to
अरे
you.
ट्रैप नहीं है रे क्रैशिस कई को तो तीरंदाजी
So
कर रहा है
this
इधर
sunset really sets the tone. Getting ahead.
And Bang has been on the money. He's the only one dedicated towards site. Narrate's actually managed to make it back over somewhat in time. Still behind the smoke, but another one placed down from Bang. Consideration to play it forward. Great connection on the ult as well. And Bang's position does get considered, but you still can't kill him. Takes away Alpha and no trade there for Kron. Blinded and hungry. Bang goes in. Takes down Kron, and it is just methodical. Narrate. Perfect hold.
And the concern being this is the first time Fnatic have stacked up and looked for a set piece towards either side, to be honest with you. And it gets absolutely dismantled by Sentinels. Bang again, just always good for 2, it seems, in situations like this.
Again, Bang probably won't ever be in your highlight reels, right? 2 safe kills there, but the value he is bringing is second to none. He's top of the board currently, but as said, safety kills. Even the coaching staff looking a little frustrated at the tempo. It's all going well. They're 7-3. Nothing's really phased them yet. It hasn't pushed them out of their comfort zone. And it feels rinse and repeat now.
Scrambled purchase once more from Fnatic.
6-7 राउंड आ गए फेंके जा रहा बस वहीं पे
Round 12 pretty awkward for them.
कैमरा है
3 players dedicated towards B this time. I don't know if it's a read into this goal. That is good info on that.
You motherfucker.
And another adjustment here on Zelsis' utility at least. And actually, finally, isolating Bang. It's been a problem.
But I like that Narrate's noted the players coming through top middle. He's pretty much going to give the try and do what you can. We can't help you yet. They've sliced right up the guts here, Fnatic. Almost doing a little bit of a fake out Alpha.
On the fadeaway.
Okay, fair enough. Zekken, you got a 1v5. No, you don't! Alpha, you absolute nutcase, catching him easy.
And just like that, a flawless response from Fnatic. Able to find success towards top mid. And the spike and them was a great read from Sentinels to try and, I guess, mitigate the risk on the back of this wall. This time around, the isolation of Bang is perfect. It looked even more ridiculous the second time after that kill from Alpha.
And you're going to need to see that Alpha if Ascent's in the map. You're going to need to see him firing, right? But 7-4, okay. It's not a complete shutout here. Fnatic have found enough rounds to build forward. Now, again, similar scenes to that last round here.
Fnatic feel as if they have found something to work upon.
I mean, they're drawing the rotation towards top middle, right? You can't leave it open. Narrate has to react. John QT has to be present. This time, Narrate very present. Down to 20, but he's done his job in this. They want to try and get some pressure through Market, and Alpha disrespecting the util felt like a desperation play almost.
Sure. Now,
Then look how deep they are, Mike.
I was going to say, Boaster tasked now with making something of nothing, to be honest with you. Just as come through Zelsis. Find the wallbang. Now down to Chronicle and Crashies. A 2v5. Try and convert here into a 7-5 half. A tall order.
It certainly is, and I have to credit the discipline from Sentinels because the tempo and pacing from Fnatic, which has been discussed, is very slow. It is very cautious, but Kron
30
got
seconds
them
left.
4 before. Need more this time around. Does have Crashies there. One
C
shot
wants
dart.
to make something happen here.
You got to get at least a kill, right? That's the long and short of it. You have to at least get a kill to make this possible and ideally be able to back away. They may not expect him so close by, but the Horn will do the job. Nice work on one for the trade, instantaneous. Sentinels playing the numbers game very well. Crashies can't do enough. Sentinels looking very in control, Mike. This has not been a problem.
No, I think Fnatic adopt the game plan here to try and slow things down and make Sentinels sweat a little bit. But like I said, coasting through a lot of these rounds.
Yeah, gonna need to see a little bit more fire on the Fnatic for my flavor in this. I don't love this tempo from them. I want to see them come out swinging. The Sen look all too comfortable.
Do it again. Watch me win. Then watch me do it again. Bottles knocking models.
Bottles knocking models. I wanna bump a beat that goes hard. I wanna bump a beat that goes hard. Poppin' bottles, knocking models. Poppin' bottles, knocking models. Poppin' bottles, knocking models. I wanna bump a beat that goes hard. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it.
Well, the pacing's certainly a little bit of a different tempo from that G2 Gen G game just
sure,
now.
yeah.
But 4 rounds is manageable with a pistol. But Mike, how do we see this one going down so far? Because I don't know how I feel about this yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not sold on Fnatic's approach once again here. We saw versus Gen G, I think, what, 4, maybe 5 rounds in that first half, decided by the clock or looking towards saving rifles, and it's just not convincing enough for me. That heartbreaking to see the first time they stack up and go for a pacey set piece. It's, like I said, Sentinels barely broke a sweat.
Now you can see the Coinbase Econ report there on the screens. It's really a bit of a one-sided affair, but the vast majority of Sen on the money. I mean, John QT able to get there in time, everyone else doing their job. I just need to see more here. Now, Sentinels 8-4 is a respectable scoreline. I think they'll be happy enough with that, right? Like,
yeah.
you walk away with that. You've done the job that was required. Now, their attacking side left me wanting a little bit as well, but I don't think I'm going to have the same quandary as I do with Fnatic's attack.
No, I mean, because that second half versus Gen G was kind of blink and you miss it.
Yep.
It was over very quickly, which is, again, you always aim towards a 6-6 for sure, but just, I mean, it didn't even really feel like an 8-4 half, to be honest with you. Nope. Fnatic to come away with as many as they did. Can they build upon that now?
And yeah, instantly different pace here coming out. Second fast towards elbow, clearing on through. Paranoia late, actually. So you can already see that Kai's had a look, but he sees nothing. Very late presence coming out from back to Zekken. Straight on the side, Boaster. Good denial, takes a, whoa! Takes a second! Get out of there! How's he found 2? Kai comes back around, but we're in a 3v2 now. The pressure mounting, you can see it. Just getting into the scrum, moving the raid. Sends us packing in the pistol.
Another situation where you think Fnatic have got the early win to get around under their belt. Sentinels just strip it away. Boaster, 2 fantastic kills that stun on the first, actually, to find Zekken with a right click, but then doubling down under so much pressure. But the rate really stretching his legs.
One enemy remaining.
That was gorgeous. That was gorgeous from the rate. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That was something quite special there. And a mid-walk from Fnatic wanting to take the fight to Sentinels. You're on the defending side now, guys. You could have chilled out. But Narray going to pick up where he left off. Carrying on this sort of fatality, lethality, but also on a classic. I'm sorry, maybe just not. What? Gone? You just. What is going on, Mike? Are we in deathmatch?
Fnatic seemingly now looking to play a little more aggressively, taking the fight to Sentinels as you would have wished in the first half. Boaster put a classic in his hands and he's shining right now.
Right? You're not going to do...
Besting Zekken twice now.
That's ridiculous. Hello. Hello, speed up. Delsis clears him. No more naughtiness for that. To Crashies, who's moving around middle, maybe able to see if we can get maybe something to fight in with.
Can he recover anything?
They've still got the main weapon. You're looking at it, right? The two Bulldogs are still there. It's one Stinger that's gone down. And Delsis, right place, right time, and Crashies knife out. Ain't gonna do it. 10 discovered for Sen. And I like Fnatic trying something here. You might as well in a round like this.
Absolutely, yeah. So it really comes down to this buy round now. Gotta see them get on the board here.
Yeah.
Too late. Be 11 and a broken purchase once more.
Okay. Nice, boys. Come on, let's go.
Stripping away any comfort the Fnatic have even attempted to find. I haven't found it, to be honest with you.
The part being in my mind, this hasn't just been the Zekken show, right? It's everyone else stepping up here. Your Narrate having a great show, Bang being on the money, Zelsis as well, everyone else doing their jobs. They haven't really needed Zekken to be the all-seeing, all-dancing. But now on the attack, obviously with the Neon, this is where we could see him kick it up a gear.
And on the attack, to have a round 3 initiator ultimate is huge for Sentinels.
How do they fancy popping that? Got time. All the pressure on Fnatic in this regard, right? They have to stay on their toes here. Can't afford to drop the ball. That pistol round would have been everything. They've been able to drop the rate there. That could have changed the outcome potentially, but he's still slipping through middle.
It's a very, very secure setup here for Fnatic, though.
Yeah, all that info off of the back
Alpha's got to be careful.
Yeah, great paranoia. But still alive as Sen. Narrate going to take down Alpha, and they have to back away. There goes that ult we were talking about. Value, yes. And Sen looking for the site. Back to back. Boaster on Kron. Devastated.
Crashes down to 11 HP. Fnatic have to give this up now.
There's no way back in. The flank irrelevant.
Planted.
This is unreal. Sen looks so comfortable here.
Fnatic look a little lost, to be honest with you.
They do. Have we seen timeouts yet?
Seen just the one from Fnatic very early on.
Love to see another.
It was both Chronicle and Alpha, but Alpha's posted up close and personal with his utility. Again, maybe a lack of information, but Crashes has already kind of figured out they're drifted back into mid because that, well, not contact found, but damage trade-offs. It's really bizarre to see that. Unfortunate set of events. Kayak now, maybe actually, on the chopping block here. Oh, actually, a cheeky smoke as well. So 5 alive.
Yep.
2 rifles maintained here for Fnatic, but a long road back in, and that, I mean, the only saving grace being that they've held on to 2 of those rifles because the money, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Alpha, I mean, again, in that situation, if you're there, you have to commit to one kill. You back up, you're dead regardless. But with the reveal through the near side, just can't find Zekken. Painting a silhouette around him.
All right, it's kind of crunch time, right? It feels like we've gone here with a bit of a whimper from Fnatic. It hasn't been the show we wanted yet. Sentinels just striding through the map. Zekken looking for the space, going to work off the back of the paranoia, going to be punished. Kayak, nice, set into motion there. Zekken goes down and maybe still a chance to get some control in this one. Oh, that's lovely. Kayak, just a shot through the smoke. He'll take that every day of the week.
Now backing away, conceding this space. Early win out here, can just play towards trades on site. If Sentinels commit, but see how Crashy's exploring. Zelsis has potentially some ideas at threading the needle here in this Fnatic setup. Crashy's still guarding it.
He hasn't had a great series yet, or at least map yet here. So again, Zelsis has been on the money. That's a shoulder, and that's a stun. Didn't quite connect, but the shot does. Zelsis carving a path, and now both are trying to play it forward, but Zelsis again! He's setting this round Sentinels making Fnatic look silly.
And the early win out from Fnatic, but Sentinels able to course correct here. Now find themselves a body to the good in the post.
Zeus is just nutmegging them straight up middle. Not a chance. And now they've got to try and fight it back in, right? But you've got Chronicle and Alpha. Not really easy to bring this utility in. Double stacked up on the site. Gonna try and get themselves away, but you're gonna still play in Zelsis. Alpha making a go of it, but Zelsis does so well. Down to the 1v1, but time is running low. John QT calm under pressure. Kron, same sort of thing.
He's got the half.
Going. Yeah. No! Kron, you absolute madman!
Trying to bait out the steps here, but Chronicle doesn't back down. Brazen with the defuse.
To do that at that scoreline.
Yeah.
That would have been 12. Well, I couldn't roll it back to this moment from Zelsis.
Yeah, I mean, the timing is just played to perfection here from Sentinels. You see as well, actually the reveal and the phone line coming back online to set this lurk in motion. And that's how they're able to flip this advantage back in their favor. But bold moves from Chronicle. Fnatic cling to life here on Sunset. Actually, again, we're seeing further aggression, or at least probes sent out by Fnatic. No reward just yet.
Going again, we do have the Owl drone. Having a glance, should just make it past the wall. We'll note the player on the right side, and Kayak gonna catch the rate, so good damage here. Oh, just caught!
Just below the door.
Oh, that's a nightmare, isn't it? Trying to back away towards market.
Really got Chronicle's utility now to rely on. And this wall committed towards mid, so Sentinels plenty of options. Actually drawn Alpha away as well, so going to leave that utility in control of Asai. And actually, Neural Theft will be invested.
Look towards top middle. Zekken might just pop off this as well. Kron's going to be the one to try and deal with it if they come market, but no, it is straight top middle. He's taking space. Alpha, reactive, trying to slip away. Spot to Pixel, gets the body drop. Jump QT down, he knows there's more. Alpha, big double kill. But then there's still so much more to be done. 20 seconds, where's that spike going? Bang's got his ult if he wants it. Oh my goodness.
Oh my word.
There's no way they read this though, right? 13 seconds. The plant.
Zelsis, yeah, a little lazy peek in here, but actually behind the wall.
Good God, this is just centimeters away from being deadly. 5 seconds has to commit on the plant here, and Kayak closing in. Chronicle's fallen. It's on Kayak and Crashies in the 2v2 here. Bang and Zelsis. Zelsis takes the head off of Crashies, leaving just Kayak, the young gun. Good for it on one. Looking for a second. He's got it! Kayak! You can doubt him all you want, but he has been exceptional for this team.
And another hero round from Zelsis as well. This Kayak with the Red Bull clutch. 6 on the board now for Fnatic. In the finest of margins, and Crashy's a little disconnected. Obviously the anchor over towards A side with all of Alpha's utility. But the bounce on that stun, outrageous from Kayak.
Nice try, boys. Nice try, boys.
That was a lovely little Red Bull clutch from him. And again, the conversation around Kayak is, it's a learning lesson with him, really, as we go along. What is his capabilities? At this point, I think a lot of us saw on the socials he wasn't feeling his best. But coming in here, putting on a great show at 15 to 12. And it is that kind of old adage of, you know, everyone can be great when they aren't tired, when they aren't feeling underwhelmed. But this guy's turned out here today and looked good for it. But we look at how these rounds have gone, Mike. We've had, what, Kron with a full diffuse. You've just had a clutch coming out from Kayak.
Like I said, they're not ones that kind of fill you with confidence.
Have a lot of ults to be working towards.
I was just saying as well, another hero round from Zelsis who's quietly actually crept to the top of the board ahead of Bang.
And
Narrate as well, who's had a couple, what, is that 2 or 3 3Ks we've seen from him?
I'm really impressed with how Zelsis is reading the map. It's all kind of timing and nice, kind of like punishing on rotate.
Yeah, the lurk up top mid was fantastically executed.
Again, you don't normally kind of be having those conversations about Zelsis in that light, but I'm so happy to be seeing he's really found a way to get through that Fnatic defense. Now we go back in. I'm trying to draw the eyes and all the attention, see if they can cost that rotate, right? Bring that third body over.
Crash is just playing rotation game. It's early commitment back towards B. With Kayak now picking up the slack in mid. He's got friends up there.
He's got 3 up here. Probably the play you want to avoid. But they think they got something. And Crash's catches, encourages the counter swing. Nice little 1-2 punch at the top and middle. Well read by Fnatic in that one. Good timing as well. Punish Zelsis on the left. Fnatic. Sorry, did you suddenly just get given the Sentinels book? How did you just read everything they were about to do?
Oh, it's crazy to see Fnatic respond with a round like this. Actually, Chronicle creeping all the way into Storm, but John QT sharp to it.
Where the hell did that round just come out of, Mike?
I mean, it's such a fantastic read. The setup was beautiful.
I'm honestly a little stunned at it, but as it stands, John QT just trying to play this out.
30 seconds left.
If you're looking at it, who needs ult? I guess Crashies could do with this
one. As I say,
one.
regardless, I mean, unless he's left to survive here, QT should get his ultimate if he dies or finds a kill. Money a little weird for Sentinels. I mean, John QT sat at 4,500 and Zelsis actually at 33, so maybe able to pass some weaponry across the board, but that'll be 7 for Fnatic, clawing their way back into Sunset.
It's slow and steady, but it's starting to get there. But again, it was lovely from Crashies, but it's the fact they already had 2 other players set up ready for it. They're really themselves.
Enemy remaining.
It all just kind of fell into pieces, right? The dominoes started to... And talking of snowball, Fnatic almost have all 5 ults ready.
Oh yeah, they're in a fantastic position here. One away for Crashies as well.
There's no way this game gets close, right?
I mean, this half certainly suiting Fnatic way more. I said it's that aggression or willingness to kind of stand and fight that we didn't really see in the first half. So Sentinels just happy to receive time and time again, and Fnatic stumbling on the first hurdles on their attacking half. Here we've seen some fantastic reads, beautiful setups.
Ooh, looking at Kayak's line here. They do go around that. Really heads up work, actually. Nice. And burning a bit of the util too. This is ticking the boxes here, protocol list-wise. And again, Sen finding it hard to get a grip on where Fnatic are.
Sentinel's just desperate for a fight somewhere.
The discipline's not going to be giving that up from Fnatic. They've been playing this slow and steady pace.
Second happy to entertain the idea regardless. Now 45 seconds on, waiting for some of those cooldowns to come back online in Alpha. Cam set up. Will potentially read this backside of the fake. Now still TP here for Bank.
Still got all the trips as well. And look
Yeah,
where
so
they are.
he can sit here, but with the utility, as you noted, they're going to know there's been no progress towards site.
This is great. Balss is in the right place for this too. 25 seconds. They're going to have to make a run for this one. Zekin's found Kayak. Oh my god, Boaster gets away with it. Still standing. Got his paranoia. Got the TP. Gets out of there. Next player coming in. Narrate gets caught. Alpha controlling the back lines. 10 seconds. Boaster buying time. Seconds. Springs forward. Zelsis is trying to make this happen. 7 seconds though. They are running out of time. Zelsis has to plant, and they are closing in. Fnatic starving out Sentinels.
I was talking about the clock for Fnatic, but worked to perfection here. And it's only due to having that third body over towards B site. I mean, Balss has done so well here. For the Rolling Thunder just passing it by. But this TP back as well, it forces Sentinels to hesitate. They have to hard clear. I mean, Zekin makes handy work of it, but like I said, it's the clock then that suits Fnatic. Nobody has to swing onto these angles. They can wait for Zelsis to make a move.
5 ults. This is actually the sixth. That was going to be Sentinel. Zekken going to go for it. Just the stinger in the back pocket. But now you can see already most are up for the challenge. Zel's going to catch Kayak towards the middle. And they're going to go for a higher tempo piece towards B. But there's still 3 bodies here, Mike. Do they cancel on this? Now on the ult, surely.
Zel's just knows he's got a bit of a gap to play with here.
Oh, he's been great at these.
So the trip behind him. It's Fnatic again now, actively trying to hunt him out. Because they know he hasn't crossed.
Oh, Zelsis. He might. Oh my god. How is Crashy's alive? I thought he was on a platter, but the pacing here isn't quite high tempo enough. They've got a complete free sight. Alpha's still here. Oh! The one the kid has ever! Slaps the rate away from it. And now down to 3. That plant doesn't feel comfortable yet. Got to wait out the ult from Crashies. They still got more to burn if they need it. 40 seconds, a second attempt at the plant.
Come through now. The 3v4 now for Sentinels. Nelsis trying to get active, find something. The team another jump shot!
Again! Someone just back-to-back clipped that, I don't care! Zelsis! Zelsis has to be a hero though! He has to put on the cape, put on the costume, and find 2! He's doing the dance, he's desperate for it, and they fly in for Fnatic! Still alive! After that man on your screen just went nuclear!
Ridiculous from Alpha. I mean, the first one crucial just to slow down the hit here. What? Show me the second. It's exactly the same. Just disgusting.
That's unreal.
And then finds the spam as well through the wall.
Yeah, he's here. You better watch out for him.
And Fnatic now
5 rounds, Mike.
knocking on the door.
5 rounds in a row. Sentinels don't like that one.
Fnatic have actually still got the timeout as well. I said that timeout came in the 3rd or 4th round. I can't remember the first half.
Super
but
early.
most certainly keeping things in control, I guess, in game.
OT final match गए तो मजा आता है.
Now it comes down to a bit of a face-off here. Finance is starting to dwindle now for Sentinels. Still actually ultimates to play with as well for Fnatic. Do have Narrate's ultimate, but Neural Theft, Kayak, Chronicle actually does have the pit.
And I feel crazy having this conversation, but I didn't expect to see a world where Fnatic win this match.
Level 4 से come back.
And then that changes how the veto looks, right? That's a conversation for afterwards, but...
Well, especially after the first half.
First match में भी level 4.
I sold then in my prediction. But
Level 4 comeback.
Wait, who did you predict? For the
series?
Yeah.
Well, for the... Okay. Go there.
Well, no, I'll admit it.
Fnatic. You wanted Sen, I know you did.
Level 4 cuts continues.
Wait, you went for Fnatic in
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Oh my god. It's crazy.
I've still got Kayak now. There's like high stakes CS and...
Fair play, fair play. Okay, Operator is in, and this is one of those swing factors. If you aren't familiar with Fnatic, when Kayak's previously had some bad games, that Operator used to get him out of that
the
ditch.
catalyst for him.
But he's certainly not been in any ditch so far. He's been having a mad performance, so another layer added to this.
Maybe this is a read into the pace or the tempo shift after this timeout. Could be rewarded here, as actually does look like a contact play from Sentinels.
Oh god, if they're going contact on this, it is so brutal. Kayak's going to be a one and done. Yeah,
still gets it.
All good. Zekken, he's had a hard game here, I'm going to be honest, and that's rare to say because I feel like Zekken's one of the most consistent high achievers. He's struggling with that, and another deep line adopted. They've got to commit utility to force him away. You can't be going for these contact pieces now. Ooh, a little cuppy.
Well, I mean, the smoke's going to make it difficult to get...
Do it. Go on, do the thing, do the thing. Walk the smoke, I dare you. Oh, he's being sensible, Mike.
You hate to see it.
Spike planted.
Fun enjoys around the world devastated.
Still his ultimate, though.
Right here.
Can make something happen potentially here in the post-plant. Very slow, cautious in approach here, but Kayak confident. His teammate's got his back here.
They got to start building now, though. The time is ticking, right? There's the trade out. The paranoia not going to be able to be worked upon there, sent through. Fnatic got to get moving. Sen with an opportunity now. Layered utility well, but Chronicle actually sleeping. Back goes down complete. Why is no one looking at Chronicle? But now they're right back in the headlights. He's going to know where they are, but Crashy's sticking on the defuse here. Swing! Oh, and he does defuse!
Let's go! Let's go!
This is out!
Let's go!
It would have needed an ace from Narrate. The Crashies has to make a move here. The Red Bull clutch going in Sentinel's favour to find 12.
I know exactly.
God, it was Kron does it on one side, Narrate does it on the other, just too late. Just even Narrate unsure, hand shaking for a second, but then he's up. Knows what he's done. He's got center 12, breaking that momentum. Sentinel's back, looking ready for this, but they got to keep going now. God, the money's so fragile still.
Yeah, I mean, look, yeah. After that swing around.
Oh my God.
Pick up Durancy, quiet, shut down. It's Narrate again.
It's beautiful. Poetic for Narrate to be the one doing this. Finding comfort out in America. Alpha does catch Celsius. Crashy's now got bodies in front of him, abounding. Zek gonna take away the sight. Bart now next. You're down to 2. Kron and Alpha, big names. Same to be said on the other side. 4 players waiting. Sentinels 2 kills away from map 1 under the belt. Kron waiting. Alpha, contact made. Narrate down. Next player has to come in. They join together, playing in unison now. 1 right, 2 left. Kron has a little look, finds the one close, waits for the swing. Now we're gonna need a magic moment from Alpha. 6 bullets and the time's not on his side, but second, 12 HP.
He's misread this.
Oh my God, Zekken is absolutely ice. God damn.
Let's go!
Beautifully done from Zekken. Didn't fall for it for a second. It's 13-9. Sen claim map 1.
Fnatic looking like they were able to pull off a miracle here, but the last moment, the 11th hour, Narrate comes alive for it.
The fights. I'm gonna go with who should I go first? I think Zelsis. Zelsis gonna get a big one. I want him sat down the whole game. 0 reason to stand up. 1, a 2, a 1, 2. Stupefy. Right, next one. Next one. John Kitio is not in the middle. That's not an IGL spot, so I'll stupefy him back to the middle. Stupefy! Bang! About to bang him out with a stupefy. Stupefy!
Have you done
Narrate or Zelsis?
Have you done Zekken already?
No, Zekken I haven't done on Narrate.
We need to
give him a double one. Give him a double, Jake.
I'm gonna
the
hit
big one.
Narrate
We could
with a
wind up the
stupefy.
Zekken.
Combo though.
Wait, yeah, we
Stupefy!
Alright, wait, we do the big one on Zekken.
Everyone, ready?
Charge it up, charge it up.
3, 2, 1, stupefy! Yeah, that.
Oh.
He dead. He's stupefied.
He is very stupefied.
ऐसी कैसे ये गुंदारियाँ कुछ है ऐसा है जो तेरा मेरा भाई मैं भूख लग रही है भाई 4 लाख के साथ भूख लग रही है आके भूख लग रही खिला दो ना गाइस आज कुछ खिला दो Restart. इसने हो रहा मेरे से बैगन की मेरी गिरी गाइस क्या हो रहा गाइस मेरे साथ गाड़ी चेंज कर सकते क्या छूटिया गाड़ी है ये उसका सुना ना मस्टैंग का पहले देखें रीस्टार्ट क्या ओवरटेक करो ओवरटेक का मतलब मालूम है लोड़े कितने को ओवरटेक किया मैं भी
Zekken on the waylay. What are we seeing with this?
I mean, it actually almost suits to play into this, right? You can almost dive onto Alpha a little, I said a little more coordinated, but there's a lot of pressure now to try and, at the end there's not many counterplays, right, to a Chamber getting up close and personal, able to dip his toes and get out, but could be a trump card, the Uno reverse from Sentinels, and that's where Milan even touching on, bringing out a curveball, but hey, how do you react now?
Yeah. I think they've just one-upped you in that matter, but we dive into this, don't we? We get to truly see the test of these two creative sides. Fnatic on the attack, and of course Sen then on the defending side. And let's see how this looks. We got a lot to learn. Already a 3-play stack on this B site.
A bit of pressure here, a probe sent out in terms of the util from Crashies. Second motion is played towards short. It's Alpha to lead the charge. We'll find John QT, but actually no damage done there.
No, and that's a couple of those bullets spent. Already the rotation's coming in. Narrate's going to be here. Kayak on the corner. Nice shot from Kayak. Quick to try and hunt that down. Does get denied the springboard forward, but Narrate's screwed. Yeah, Kron was hungry for that. And they're fighting for that space behind Tree, taking over towards Heaven, making the site really uncomfortable. It's two players trying to tuck in towards Hell. And if they get the spacing right here, Fnatic, it should be pretty light work. This was really well crafted, Mike.
One enemy remaining.
On the side of Fnatic. Excited to see, really. I mean, it will be the face-off. Maybe not in the first half here between Alpha and Zekken. Not so much Kayak in that regard.
All right, one Sheriff for Zekken. And obviously on the other side, you're going to see them try and go farming here. But a big investment, Kron, Kayak, prized possessions they don't want to be losing, and a 5-play stack. So they better.
Big gap. Ground to cover.
Good call from Fnatic, though. They'll be happy enough with that.
Still so cautious of a snake in the water here. We'll find a clean plant, though. Able to get themselves out of sight as well. Yeah, really scratching their heads now.
I said not here. The second is getting closer. Door's shut though. Nope. Door's open. And Fnatic would like to find the opponents. It does seem a little bit of hide and seek so far, but Kayak going to take down Zekken, who did have that Sheriff. So the main sort of danger weapon gone. Speaking of weapons, there is one now dropped.
Launching thorns.
Have to see if they can recover this or keep it out of their hands, but Zelsis, this is a lot. That's 3 players here. They're going to make Fnatic work for this, though.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Still trying to keep them in market here. Well, actually both kills come through.
Okay, Vandal back in. Everything recovered. So, yeah, Vandal, Phantom, and the Guardian still in rotation.
Yeah, difficult to really police the weapons in that situation. Almost want to force Fnatic a little deeper, maybe to fall to the spike, but the plant position. A little bit of safety here. Damage done though. Really going to cause problems for the purchase here.
Okay.
And obviously what Zekken's going to be doing does enable a lot of defensive aggression. Alpha
shot
beheaded. In similar setup though to what we saw earlier on. It's not Alpha to lead the charge here, but rather sell the fake elsewhere.
I quite like the deeper positioning from Narrate. We've seen that Fnatic do like to prioritize that deeper tree control as well. If you can police this, it'd be impressive, but it's difficult. Fnatic once again taking that territory. Kayak tries to get a little technical with it, but Narrate comfortable on the pressure. So far, so good. Actually, overextends and is rewarded.
2 with the Bulldogs, by the way. Massive value found. Will force now Chronicle and Boast to consider just holding on to this weaponry.
No opportunities for play here with that spike going through tree, as said. If it all goes wrong,
do have the benefits. Only Alpha that's broken. For himself could hope for with that, I think. On Ascent. As wise, it's only really Kayak and actually. Yeah, Narrate. a rough first map. We'll see him certainly establish himself early on here on Ascent.
Yeah, and a little bit scary as well if Narrate starts going early. You saw how that last map ended. I mean, he was on a high note and a half.
Oh, he's buzzing up on his feet.
Oh, and a little bit of a deeper exploration coming out from Zekken there. So this feels like this fight's going to be happening a lot, right, between Alpha and Zekken, but fighting for that sort of early space on maybe B main or up towards A. This time Zellsis there with him, and they are waiting. This time Alpha, a bit of damage done. Zellsis wants to clear this util, but couldn't quite crest the corner.
Really want to see them remove the
That's 3 players.
Here, yeah.
They should have noted on this side of the map.
Rate's been fairly quick to rotate over towards A. He's making moves now. But this time around, the difference being Fnatic sit behind this. Spike still over towards the B side. Zekken still commanding this space into B main.
Zekken. Oh! Outdone this time! Back and forth between these two so far in these rounds. Zellsis still has some stall on this site. Can buy a bit of time. We saw that earlier rotation coming out from Narrate. Now he wants to get back. Can Zellsis buy some precious seconds? Can he keep Fnatic away from the door? Already chomping at the bit to get closer, looking for that cross through towards site. Slips in the smoke, takes away Alpha, looks for some more damage, but he can't do much more. Kind of pinned in at this point, had to give up Cat.
The flash is perfect. Zellsis couldn't catch him. He actually caught the backside of it as well.
Yeah, but overextension towards CT. I thought maybe try and buy the time so someone could swing off him. But Chronicle goes down and leaves it in this 3v3. Now how does Sen then break back through towards the site itself? Look at the utility they have. One flash for John QT. That's it pretty much, and one smoke for Bang. Difficult to breach this side of the map. And that's it. That's pretty much it. 2 towards Cat. High flash swing. Away we go. Crashy's blind. What is that? Bang still firing on all cylinders though. He knows where Kayak is. Kayak survives and Fnatic make it out like bandits.
How? This Crash is alive there to find the kill. Maybe just the catch on the flash themselves, but Alpha crispy on the entry. Yeah, weird exchange here between Zellsis and Chronicle. Bang almost lining up a 4K here.
One god, Bang. So close on that. I was like, bro, why are you aiming that towards me? Damn, okay, timeout early for Sen though. They're touching base up on what, round 5? They've hit the brakes here. Maybe not liking it, maybe just kind of trying to get a grip on this. Again, you're playing up against a comp that you probably aren't super familiar with. You're seeing a chamber again, seeing this sort of thing. And again, if you're looking at the coaching stuff, Kaplan's there going to be trying to keep in touch with them quick.
And you could argue it's maybe some of the rounds that are most frustrating to lose because there's not necessarily any flair or, you know, nothing special about some of these rounds. If Alpha can just kind of find these dry engagements and win out, those are tilters. You're not really testing the sight hold or anything like that. It's somebody almost overstepping the mark on Sentinel's side. So maybe just trying to rein that in early on, but certainly for Zekken in the first half, you don't want him to just sit back and receive some of these site XX.
And it does feel, I don't say like a coin flip between the two of them, but they have been going back and forth, right? Zekken's had his moments. Obviously, though, the value of Alpha getting that first pick does open the site. You saw how isolated then Zellsis was, and it was really hard to stall out. He did great, though, slipping into that smoke, catching a player. Still stalled out almost enough for Bang there, but not to be. 3-1, Fnatic firmly now starting to build a lead. The operator is in, but
Let's play.
so's Tour de Force on the other side. Zekken taking a look. Knife comes in, probably going to catch one there. I'd imagine that connected. As Zekken decides to rattle off a shot, but back away. That opens up gap for Fnatic.
It's leading towards a pace change on both sides, so as soon as the Tour de Force is out.
Active fight on towards Street.
Yeah. Well, actually, the spam onto Kayak.
And it's done. Oh, Narrate! How are you diffing Kayak in that? He had to snap back to it already. You're going to see this coming in to try and clear out, and it does. Hunter's Fury does well to catch out Narrate, but they've made it hard work to play up Cat. A real different hold. They're just playing it forward a little in unison. No big opportunities for Alpha to bring in the ult either.
Want to make something work here in range of the TP. But a pause for thought here from Fnatic. Even 4v4, but John QT tagged down to 47, so slight advantage. Alpha once again, curious. Does have the spike himself as well, so just going to hope that Crashes can come and reinforce this, but it's second.
And look at the
on top
time.
once more.
The word melons is coming to mind. 10 seconds. Fnatic, yeah, they're getting closer, but Bang's still here. If he can deny the plant, that's everything. And Bang's currently getting curious. Dealt with by Kron, and then a shot from him. Zelsis can't get there in time just yet. And look how disconnected Kron is. This is so difficult for Zelsis to clear out. Crashy's dart. Shock dart's back in play as well. The second that Zelsis gets closer to site, if he gets contact, that checkmate of Kron's position surely comes in. And it's there. Lovely positioning. I thought they were too late then, Mike, but they are letting that clock run low.
Many options to recover that on the side of Zelsis, but just a really bizarre exchange here. Towards sure, it's only really the Hunter's Fury that opens things up for Fnatic.
One enemy.
Almost 1 second shows his hand with the operator. Able to deal with it. The ultimate's now online for Sentinels. Still got Kayak though. Then to go, but actually a set piece out towards mid here.
Yeah, and look at the pressure coming out of B main too. It's going to look towards middle, but I promise you there's more of us here. And there is. They're fighting together. Sen, kick up the pace. And they rip apart Fnatic. Boaster and Alpha have a mountain to climb. Alpha rattles off the bullet. They now know where he is. Spike's in a dangerous position too. Alpha wants that back. Boaster already trailblazing away. Alpha gets the spike, he gets away. Now where do they go? It feels like it has to be towards A, right?
Feel all this pressure elsewhere. They're not going to walk short. Surely not.
Oh my, no. Why is this choice feels mad?
There's not going to be any
Playing Sen's
confirmation for Sen, but this is certainly bold.
Oh my god, they might, I don't, oh! They catch more than the timing. They catch second.
But do they read that as Sentinels have already rotated and now go back towards B? Zelsis is still in a position to do damage.
He's thinking about it, isn't he, Alpha? And with Zelsis still alive, you've still got this wall in middle. He triggers it, trying to bait it out to look back like a B, a double fake potentially, and a late lurk.
Oh my word.
That was close. That was so damn close to smoke on CT. And Sen have to react to it. They have to respond to it to some extent. But it is the play towards A now. Plant's going to be coming down. Can Boaster and Alpha navigate this? Paranoia is still there.
That's huge, actually. 5 seconds on the smoke as well for Boaster.
Door shut as well. Where's he off to? They don't know, we do. Smoke going to go in. Ult's popped. Alpha's out of it, but they're going to flood the site now. Sen looking to try and clear, trying to maybe catch Boaster in the meantime. Paranoia is still in play. There it is, posted. Alpha, you got to come into this one. And he checks it. It's clear for now. They are hunting them down, but Alpha denying. Boaster trying to live as long as he can. Alpha, the man who will not be moved. Clutching up Fnatic, doing the damage.
Almost felt a little awkward there. The Paranoia could have connected potentially onto Alpha. Not sure what the range. But what a recovery.
Player standing.
It takes everything from Alpha. 4 kills for him.
Apologize,
and this pace change really from Sentinels. Actually the second timeout coming through.
Boaster's up. Boaster's up. You shouldn't be losing, what, 2v4s? Those are the ones that get you. Those are the ones that frustrate you.
They look beautiful initially for Sentinels. Like I said, I think the pace change really, operators left on the table. Alpha's going to have it. Let's take the fight to them.
Yep, love that.
And initially, a huge victory for them. But again, Zelsis half a second longer, and he catches Boaster with the spike.
But also have to give credit to Boaster, playing him like a fiddle.
Yeah.
Just setting off that wall towards middle, the smoke towards CT, all of these ideas that, oh, they're going back, surely they're going to try and hit this fake. There was a double fake back in towards that A piece, beautifully done, manipulating the map just perfectly. And then 5-1, there's a reason there's this double timeout called into effect. Sentinels
would love to be a fly on the wall.
Oh, wouldn't you just? Hearing that.
Again, because that's when you watch the minimap back and it's a round of seconds, millimeters almost. But a huge win for Fnatic to find their 5th. Sentinels now really a stinger and a sheriff to Zekken. Tuck themselves back into a deeper hold for sure.
Oh, they've been abusing Cat over and over again.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
And I quite like the occasion, you know, Narrate's been trying to play a little close towards Tree, but then we had that Kron and Crashies round that just battered them. Sen finding it hard, they've been so close a couple of times, but it's just not quite been there.
1-6.
You can see that Fnatic getting that protocol is right. Early clear of the wall, early clear
Fnatic
of the
के साथ
wall.
कहीं तो लेने वाला था मैच पक्का मालूम तो था हार्ड तो रहता फिर भी
Going through that checklist very well.
का मसला रखना
Making those rotations now difficult, and Alpha gets let off the leash. Has a glance towards middle, still building towards A.
Say ult here for Kayak as well, so the drone will come through if it doesn't confirm. Maybe a UCIB actually. Spam almost catching on John QT.
Oh, safety found in the smoke there, almost a second of thought for it. It's gone right up the guts here.
Fnatic playing the entire map
There's
on
a
this
3-player
attacking
stack.
side.
There's still 3 players on this B site. So they've actually got the read right here, but you look at the weaponry, that's the hard part here. Sen getting the tempo right, getting the read right, but with 25 seconds it can go wrong. Fnatic could have left this too late, but let's find out. 24 seconds, they've got to make a play here. Stall coming in and Crash is taking those brave first couple of steps.
Nice one,
Good
Zekken,
work
nice
from
one.
Zekken, good stall. It's 17 seconds down. They've got to get towards the back of the side. Poster makes a meal of it, but lands it in the end. Zekken again, 10 seconds down. Zekken is still on fire.
Nice one.
Bang! Lands a shot and Kayak is sweating bullets. This one's over. Heroics from Zekken doing the damage to Fnatic.
And gets the 4. I mean, Fnatic victims of their own success here. Like I said, playing the entire map, but then playing right into Sentinel's hands. Or the hands of that man right there.
It's a scary player to get going, to get confident, to get feeling out this game.
2 seconds left. One enemy
Good.
And then you look at all that, and Bang's still there, just waiting.
That rock solid player.
Play time, boys. Play time.
The MasterCard Thrifty coming through. Beautiful highlight there for Zekken. But can they keep these reads up, right? They've got to keep a grip on Fnatic, who are looking slippery.
Boaster down on the stinger now. Broken by
Retrieving flash.
for Fnatic. Zekken one away from the ultimate again, but John QT and Narrate have theirs to invest. Still sitting on Kayaks. Now Chronicle.
There.
Rip away the advantage here in terms of the purchase for Kayak. That's 60. What?
Sorry, is Houdini in the server? Because that was just simply magic. How has he got 2 there? No right at all. Great knife timing on that one to connect though. Gets at least to 90 on it. Invest the ult. So now the plant's going to come in, but they're in a 5v3.
Sentinel's giving this up already. You can see them tucked into
Cancel,
B side.
yeah. What the hell was that from Kayak? Give me that on a replay,
I mean,
please.
the first, maybe.
Second.
Outrageous.
Show me it back. Can't take it. You got to feel in a way for Sen. They can't get that momentum on their side, right? Yeah, a brilliant round from Zekken. Heroics from him. Right back, cool. Okay, Kayak's behind us and he's just gotten 2.
Well,
All right.
especially now, if you're Kaplan, you got to just sit back and watch these rounds.
Yep.
It all rides on John QT in the server. Be a flawless round 8 here for Fnatic.
Wow.
Maybe that's the turning point for them in terms of momentum and establishing themselves now with a 4-round lead. Certainly got the funds to support that. Oh, he spots him in the smoke. Oh.
Launching missile.
That is absolute filth. That's Narrate as well, who's looked so sharp. I said coming alive in map 1.
Kayak is an absolute gunner, apparently. Okay, well, so Kayak's been sat on his for a while now. We've been kind of keeping track of that. Kron's got his. He wanted it in that previous one, but actually the knife denied it, and then they had the round regardless. On the other side, though, Zekken won away. John QT's got his. Narrate's got his. I need to see something around this, though. Once again, respecting Fnatic to have all of this mid-control. Not much of a test towards this.
Yeah, Sentinels have not been dipping their toes in
no
the early
operator,
round.
no challenge on it. Don't fancy it.
You could argue maybe with Zekken now sitting on 3K.
Deeper wall.
Yeah, because I mean, Fnatic were able to pull this out very early on in the previous rounds.
Oh god, Kayak again. You got another rabbit in that hat to pull out. No, pretty simple, but the timing's right for Bang. Takes away Alpha, trying to maybe scale into this, and stalled out on shore. Uh-oh, time to run. Okay, they're good.
Chronicle ahead of this now with the spike. Actually not going to be isolated.
Okay, this is nice though. This time around, do get to invest the ult here. So just those classics waiting, but I've heard something about those Sentinels classics. That makes me a little bit nervous here. And even Kayak investing util, they want to clear house! The Bang! Come down! Swinging! Outrageous stuff from Bang! He could be on for the ace. 8 HP in a dream. Celsius gets the job done. The beauty from Bang there.
The desperation to capitalize on Chronicle's ultimate is their downfall. Up against the ropes in hell. I mean, the flash is perfect. And again, you can't fault the first 2 swings here.
I'll have what
Just when you think it might be the moment Fnatic stabilize here with the lead. Sentinels fight back. 3 still separate these teams.
Oh, I like this.
Like I said, yeah, with the funds in the previous. Zekken now on the operator, sorry.
But also that maybe they're willing to, I don't want to say challenge middle, but let's see how they maybe want to approach it. Kayak wants to test early. Okay. Zekken.
Well, I was going to say,
what was the plan?
A really awkward
maybe some discomfort on the
there.
agent. I don't know. That didn't seem like he went the way he wanted. So Narrate now. What is going on in these couple of moments here? Zekken, sorry, excuse me, Celsius is still on this side. So they felt pressure in market and through main. This feels very indicative of this B hit, but we've seen how slippery Fnatic can be. Hesitation on rotation, but Bang closing the gap. He should be the checkmate here. Keep Celsius steady in holding this side, but John QT's gone down. There's still a wall behind here. TP could be taken for Bang, but even another 4K. This is ridiculous. Fnatic slow and steady has been working, smothering Sentinels. The plant up next. Bang, I mean, he was a hero before, but this, I don't think is in the wheelhouse today.
Looks like he wants to just look for an exit. Again, maybe even retrieve the operator, but both are tucked into pizza.
And again, I come back to the start because I quite like the idea, kind of playing a little bit deeper initially, waiting for that early wave of util, and then maybe taking a glance. But it felt like maybe just a bit of discomfort on the agent for Zekken. It didn't look like, obviously, that was what he wanted. Uh-oh. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dearie me. Bang, if you survive, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, an early TP from Kayak and the clone. I think he knows he's got him back to rights. Beautiful play up middle. And again, it's just the timing that it takes him to pull the operator. And actually, yeah, I mean, Kayak's on the angle so quickly.
Well, just an ankle shown. That was enough for the shot from the right then.
One enemy remaining.
Big round from Alpha though. Paving the way towards B site for Fnatic. And a trade-off. Again, look at that timeline. Last 4. Going back and forth here.
Lovely matchup actually between these two. I'm liking it. And again, it's that whole idea of being better to be remembered for ambition than to be forgotten for obedience, playing their own way, bringing out new agents, as said on this way late, be it a hit or a miss, fair play, you know, you can call it. how you see it. This is the first half on the defending side. But then you look at Fnatic, of course, rewarded so far with this chamber adjustment, Chronicle as well on that Vice.
Fnatic have been in control in terms of, like I said, playing the entire map, drawing out this util very early on, but Sentinels don't seem to respond to that, spring into action. So when they do try to dig their heels, and that also hasn't suited them.
No.
Other than some heroics from Zekken here and there.
This is, they're playing back Bauhaus, 30 seconds yet, and they've read it so well. Where are you meant to go? Zekken trying to buy him time with the ult coming in, but still Zelsis has to lean forward. Boaster takes him down. He was actually set into motion well. Narrate does a little bit of damage from CT. 20 seconds, starting to fumble on time, and already Bang going to take the quick TP and the ult invested towards the back of sight. 15 seconds, Fnatic, come on, you got to get towards the site here. Zelsis set up for success. Bang on the trade, can't do enough. 7 seconds and a plant is wanted. Does Kayak get given that freedom? No, he does not. Narrate there, denying the plant, Fnatic leaving it way too late.
What's the setup here? 10, 15 seconds earlier. It's teed up for Fnatic, but once more, I dare to say it, victims of their own success. They have so much space to play into, so much freedom where they're almost second-guessing themselves in some of these situations. Bang to spring the trap once more. 3 on the round from the rate. Here's Zelsis now trying to rally the troops towards a 5th here to close out the first half.
Trying to ignite something. It's been a hard game to get that kind of momentum building. And it's something actually to keep that away from Sentinels. They are a team that never feel truly down and out, no matter the scoreline, no matter the map, no matter the matchup. The way that Fnatic are playing this slow RVS ground has been hard to build momentum from. And again, Bang getting caught off there. Just that kind of 1v1 over on A main that was slowly building.
Yeah, it was a wallbang as well, so that's just the edge of the... John be on the top of the boxes, but have to wait and see.
He's not been having a highlight game. Narrate, on the other hand, has been nice from John QT. Quick way to make up for what's not been a good affair yet. Can he do any more, though? No, goes down with a lot of util as well. Cleared out by Boaster. Besting the other IGL. And Chronic support, not letting them fight alone. Security found for the plant. Zelsis, just a formality in the pathing back for Fnatic. Making it up to 8, keeping Sen on just these 4 rounds. Mike, this one looks one-sided. We have to wait until that second half to see if Sen have more for us. They've got to come out swinging.
One enemy. I'll have what
Esports is a $2 billion industry now, but it all started in dingy basements and cramped living rooms.
From how the pros train to how the money flows, this G2 and MasterCard series breaks it all down. 12 episodes, packed with insight and lessons for anyone looking to understand the world of competitive gaming. Ready to learn the game behind the game?
Stay tuned for what's next.
You won't want to miss it.
अंडे चढ़ा के भूल गया मैच क्या दिख रहा है स्टेज 4 कमबैक है कमबैक पॉसिबल है गाइस कमबैक पॉसिबल तो जेक्सन बोल दिया वेले
All right, so the bar has been set. 8 rounds for Fnatic, and they looked in control, Mike.
Absolutely did. There's a few rounds where things get away from themselves. Maybe cutting things a bit too fine. For sure, now asking a similar question of Sentinels. We do have the Coinbase Econ report here, obviously struggling on the side of Sentinels, but really stretching their legs. You expect Alpha obviously to be a little higher up, but again, not necessarily painting too clear a picture.
No. However, my eyes are on Zek in this half. In outfit today. Came to work, locked in.
Had the privilege of meeting earlier.
Yeah, the man behind the mask. But yeah, for me, it is now the story of what does Zekken look like on this, because it is that waylay, it's on the attacking side now. It's time to see the value and what it can bring. We've seen how good Alpha looks with this chamber. We've seen this sort of stuff. Kayak, of course, that amazing ability to be able to pick up those 2 kills on the A site, ridiculous at times. However, we go in. Sentinels. Are we going 3? Or do you have it in 2? Only 4 rounds to their name. It is a long path back.
Did see that face-off initially in the first half between Zekken and Alpha. Certainly more so here in the second. So set piece going to come through for the Sentinels. Zekken up close and personal. Doesn't find any contact, actually. Chronicle finds him.
Yeah, Kron having that corner uncontested was wild. It felt like they checked off every other part of the map. It was a very well-crafted approach, but still, does a bit of damage. And look at Narrate. 34 HP and toxic towards help. Looks like Short is the way forward here. Slow and steady for Fnatic once again, waiting, and Sentinels tired of it. Try and get involved again, punished. Zelst is the only one to make out with a positive trade here, and he's fallen. Alpha doing what he needs. He even crashes now on his feet. Closer in prime I-Series form, giving it large.
There's a line there that I won't repeat. Maybe another day. So Chronicle just, yeah, no pressure whatsoever. Move the tip of the spear here into a 4v4 ahead of the plant coming through, but Alpha.
That was tasty.
Connecting on the headshot here to seal the deal.
Nice shots, bro.
9th under their belt. So Sentinels can get anything going here to maybe flip round 2, but only classics.
I mean, this is starting to look like that Icebox third map is becoming a reality between these two. First map didn't feel as explosive as expected, but this is certainly a test. Be careful here, they are close by, those classics can do work, but again, Shot in the dark and Alpha is rewarded. Zekken disrespecting it, takes a glance in, and then dips out.
Peel away now, John QT. Zelsa's HP bar as well, down to 32.
John's been having a bit of a nightmare as well. Rough game for him.
Able to really have a say in a lot of these rounds. It's a fairly thankless role on the KO, but certainly expect a little more from him.
Shadows
See the paranoia.
Yeah, I was going to say, inside the smoke, so.
There we go. Tron. Oh, he's so well controlled, but Zen digging in their heels this time. Hold on. Anything they can recover, any plant to be had would be perfect. So Narrate going to go for the plant, and Zekken put on guard duty. Now Dron going to find the first, and they look to flood. Zekken going to be trying to make this one happen here. Narrate by his side, going to spot the players, do the dance. Oh, and it's so simple. Fnatic not really giving any room for Sen to get up to anything.
Keep 2 rifles from this. We'll find the 10th. Ult charge-wise, going to prioritise Crashies on the Hunter's Fury. Maybe. Maybe just go through the housekeeping.
Yeah, just polishing this one comfortably. 3 still alive. As I need a bit more fire with Sentinels, Mike. There's just a bit of a whimper here.
Now's the time to make a stand. Long road back into the second half with Fnatic. Kicking things off with 2. Even actually riding this out now with a Bucky and a Sheriff. Boaster back on one of his trademarks of old.
Yep. A vintage look. Coming back in.
We have Fnatic rounds to play with almost, so expect them to ride the economy out. Maybe looking to actually get an operator on the board nice and early.
This is scary though. Jump spot top middle. And now Paranoia comes in. And Alpha's really got such confidence. Smoke was still in play and he knows it now. Oh! The snap towards Zelsis was filthy. Still going to get his man. I thought it was Zekken on the chopping block, but he gets to live.
Zekken recalled to avoid being pinged by the dart there. See, it was almost a surprise to see somebody swing out from position. A 1-for-1 trade now. Damage done to Alpha and Crashies. Argue a slight advantage.
It's an opportunity, isn't it? It feels like they've been lacking those.
Sentinels will group as for proceeding towards Boaster, who now has the Bulldog instead.
The time is going to be, I'm not going to say late, but it's going to be short.
I mean, it's tight if they don't make a move.
Look at this
Chronicles already.
Nothing behind them. Yeah, this is going to get deadly because this flank is going to be fast as well. They need to get through side. They still need to clear back boathouse. And they're not investing utility. They want to keep this quiet. Poster, can you buy the time? Zekken does well. Takes away players from CT. Now Poster forced to fight, but the flank comes in. 2 players. Front straight down cat. Nice damage, but not a nice job. 6 seconds.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Sentinels down to the wire, but clinging on.
Let's go.
Ton of damage done. Fnatic frugal in the purchase here, so it feels like the best of a bad situation. Zekken the one to make this a little harder.
One enemy remaining.
It's Narrate with another 3-piece.
Beautiful.
We said the purchase in the previous now to find an operator in the hands of Alpha. See if we can put this to work. It's been present time again here in B main and hasn't really had anybody to greet him. Big ping at Zekken, gotta be careful. Kayak.
How's it gone that way? Do they speed up off this, or how do they want to play it? There's a bit of a question mark around that, maybe push out on B potentially because the wall got cleared, so they gather up towards Cat, and it looks like they really want to continue towards A, but Quad's been solid too. Zekken taking the space away towards Tree. Boaster coming on bite. Does have that paranoia if Quad needs it, and I think he does now. Yeah, wait, they didn't even check for it. Narrate's still doing damage, but bang on good layering here. Nice scaling up towards the site, and the spike should be in now.
She's still got plenty of util. One of the Hunter's Fury, so.
Zelsis. Zelsis. You could get better positioning in that, the timing. It's time to run for Alpha. That is too valuable of a possession. You want that operator for late game.
And a big round actually to keep 4 alive. The Sentinels to build back in. Zekken was actually trying to remove that advantage. Don't want to see another one given away here.
Well, they are close. They got to this quick. You get to keep this one. No one else through CT side. You can see where they are, but I think they're going to pause now. And we'll be kind of leaving it where it is. But again, starting to see a little bit more life in Sentinels, Mike. There's a build here. The fact that Zekken got that kill on Kayak still feels ridiculous.
Spam back as well. This is obviously Kayak on the Phantom as well, so no traces to even aid that Zekken. Here, Sen
enemy remaining.
Have to commit towards this site as well. I don't want to say disrespecting the utility, but certainly knowing when they have to dial up the pressure.
Right, well, this is now looking like a big round as well in my mind. As much as the purchase is low for Fnatic,
sure,
I need Sen to look clean on this.
And it's actually the next that's going to be crucial in terms of stringing together this comeback. Have tour de force and potentially still an operator.
But Alpha is here. Alpha scares the life out of me in these scenarios when he does. How did that not land? Zekken
hitting the brakes.
Oh, the second time of asking. Alpha goes back in for it. And Alpha decides, screw it, I'm popping the ult. Holds his ground, stands as long as he can, but he goes down. Sentinels now flooding towards the site. Still have mid control, but still 2 to clear on the site itself. Durate's got off the buy now looking a little less lethal at this point. So they slow the tempo, Mike. They want to get a grip on this.
They got a Bucky and a Stinger to work with. Sheriffs to complement it, but
Easy head. Stand ground.
utility perfectly placed here. And a chance for Sentinel to sweep through sight, but the crossfire doesn't aim to nothing.
Perfectly cleared, perfectly cleared. And Kayak just cut out of the round. John QT needs the help maybe in the end, but he gets it.
This is absolutely huge though, because it draws out the tour de force.
Yes.
Two massive tools to offset potentially a lesser purchase, which is on the brink here for Fnatic. I mean, again though, there's nobody swinging into bottom mid here.
Yeah.
From Sentinels. Zeken's up close, but
One enemy.
no clearance to these close angles.
Can you imagine if that went the other way? That one shot, look how close that was. Even Alpha's like, how? But still, just... if that had gone the other way, who knows? But it's given a build back here for Sentinels. 7-10 now. Fnatic wanting this timeout and needing it now.
For sure, and I think Milan just looking to rein the boys in a little bit. Probably getting a little nervous now.
7-10.
You'd argue the hard work's already done, considering the pistol and the second went to Fnatic here in the second half. Like I said, we're on a knife edge now in terms of the economy. Got the Hunter's Fury, Chronicle with his as well. Kayak 2 away. Certainly for Sentinels now in a pretty comfortable position with basically 4 players, 4K and above. Second with his ultimate as well. Certainly be awkward here if Fnatic will concede. They have to ride a lower purchase.
Tense round now. You're looking at Kron, you're looking at Crashies as well. Those ults are here. Zeken's got his. What's the early approach? Sentinels eyeing up B. Big commitment. Zeken takes a walk first. Has a look. No one up close. Knife not going to find much. This time fighting Kayak quickly handles Zeken. That looked all too easy. Sentinel sent back.
Launching thorns.
Right down to 15 HP, but Sentinel's not really to find a responsible trade there. Zeken just trying to make use of aggression through B main. Back to the drawing board now for Sentinels. Question marks across the map for them. Alpha with a very deep position, actually to help. TP to get him up out of danger as well. Smoke will go up and bait out some of this utility. Well, he's dealing with the trap, but there's layers to this from Fnatic.
30 seconds left.
Oh, actually the clock. We'll apply further pressure now, and actually confirmation here of presence in B main.
Okay, look at the time though, we're down to 10 seconds. Kron just turreting about and they've got to try and power forward. Kayak's still alive. Yeah, he's down to 15, but his presence alone is a problem. Sen looked lost without a plan in that.
Losing Zeken early on. I said this was a huge opportunity for Sentinels to really apply pressure.
Shit.
Let this pass them by. Beautiful opener from Kayak. And like I said, able to dip away, deny that trade. So Sentinels just kind of hoping that somebody from Fnatic would play into their hands.
Good job, boys. Nice round, boys.
There's desperation towards B. Grinning really on the back of that.
Don't miss me too much.
And this time around, the adjustments through middle, right? There was similar drone before, but now, look at Kayak's position though. Playing deeper in towards B main, but pace change coming out. Pressure towards market. Crashes up to the test though, takes away John. Kron on the follow-up and Sen falling short when it looked to just matter most. Bang right back into it though. 2 big kills and it's still game on. Flooding through B main. Trying to get this plant in motion. John's gone down here in the end. No one able to retrieve him in this situation. 3v3 post-plant now.
Very early flank coming through now. Crashes does have the Hunter Fury as well. TP, that's your way back out.
Oh my god.
I was going to say, was he going to try and backstab Spawn there?
Both just got Zelsis on the back pedal though. Look at that position right up on top. They had no idea. The paranoia not going to affect him either. You can send this right back to him. Bang now blind. He was the hero who got them the two that made this look doable. Narrate's still standing, the king of the 3Ks, 4Ks hell, but he's fallen. And Fnatic break down the door. Looking for the defuse. They've got this one. And Sentinel's looking quiet here now.
Point now for Fnatic. Purchase going to be a little shaky on the side of Sentinels. Crash is just timing this to perfection. It's Chronicle to complement that as well. Yeah, both are over the top. Crucial kill.
Totally unaware of that possibility. 12-7.
Nice! Come on then, where you running, bro? Where you running?
Here we are. Ice spots looking more and more likely. Sentinels hitting a brick wall that they can't seem to get above, around, or through. Zek not given much play in middle this time. Quan and Crashies have been good at this. Until then, Corner takes a glance, but doesn't fancy it.
This is now looking to re-explore towards this utility that late round caused problems for Boaster. He's found one mine.
Oh, the timing is outrageous on this too. Ult goes in, they're still trying to power forward, but Crashy's going to take down John QT again. But that's Shorty waiting! Perfectly placed! And now Sentinel's scrambling! Zelsis and Bang have to come together to save the day. Well, Fnatic are taking us the distance. The third map looking so likely. Bang's been great, but Fnatic have been better. We're going to Icebox.
The bounce back from Fnatic. You can never count them out. We go to the cornerstone of their playbook.
चलो guys, Sentinels गई तो गई नहीं तो लाइट यार रात भर बैठ के मार का किरकिरा लॉल सेंटिनल्स फैंस खत्म ए लॉल गिल नहीं रे भाई होता तो होता नहीं हो तो घर पे जाके अब सोया तो आज के 4 बजे तक सोया तो ताकत तेरे पे तुझको सांझ सवेरे नींदों में बसिया तेरे स्टार्ट कर के लोड़े ये कौन ना हुआ लौड़ेगा ये अम्मा कुछ के बाल नैनों में बसिया जैसे नैनों में बसिया घुस जाओ ना एक के अंदर घुसो ऐसा एक के अंदर घुस जाओ करा दे रे भाई और दो ही बचे थे कर दे तू कोई ना माँ को बैगन के बाल ना कोई ना मेरे लूट लेंगे बोल के कोई ना मेरे ऐसे लूट लेंगे किधर लूट लेंगे की बात ओवरटेक नहीं था क्या गाइस का मतलब समझा कोई तो भी। कॉइन कॉइन कर वही निकालना है बस। यस यस एक ही निकालना है। मेरे पूरे सिक्योर्ड आ गया। कैसे ठुक गया? भी गाड़ियां नहीं दिख रही। फक गया। कैसा भगा ले गया शेर। कहीं पूरी ट्राई देते 3 किलोमीटर बच जाना 30 में 3 भीगी सड़कों पे मैं तेरा इंतजार करूं लिख दूं मेरा साला मैंने देखा दूर से देखा लास्ट का नहीं ठुकना था रे भाई चलो चलो नहीं ठुकेंगे
On the decider, implanting the seeds here to now bring theirs into round 5. And the other thing Fnatic bring is an operator for Kayak. It's 1 and 4. Be something line, though. Whether or not anybody's actually going to be expecting this, the awareness there.
I do like this.
I mean, the smoke definitely shows awareness.
Feels like it, right? how do they path up to this again? All these audio cues, man. He's got to be chomping at the bit. Oh,
would have been given a shot there.
It does get to a bit of a 50-50 here. He knows he's in danger, and yeah, right timing to back away, doesn't get punished. Making Sentinels burn a little bit more of that utility to scale up. Has to force himself on a deeper line now.
Balss is still trying to backstab something on A site as well, but keep our eyes on the action here.
That's brave.
Actually, just dealing with the utility has drawn the rotation. Look at the mini-map. Boaster hangs about in Snowman, but it's drawn a massive rotation out.
Yeah, the fact that Boaster was able to get kind of back up towards yellow and felt no pressure, really. Checking behind that wall gives them a bit more freedom. They have to almost reset. Yeah, they can try and re-approach this like a fake, but Boaster can still check behind it. He knows there's no one here. He can keep his players close towards his A site.
Placing swarm grenade.
There's that lockdown, lovely timing. Look at this, 16
Look at
seconds.
the clock, yeah.
They've got to make a move on it. And Kayak watching, perfectly poised above for 10 seconds. There's not much to be done. Lockdown does go down and the plant is in. Sen just about salvaging this round as the 4 players close by from Fnatic now flood back in, make it 5. Great flash. John on the swing. Kayak still firing though, down to 3 for Sentinels. Oh, but John QT unwilling to move from the site, resilient till the end. Rez comes out.
Nice and QT.
John doing it perfectly from the site itself. Now Zekid and Narrate gonna try and hold on to this. Kayak barely alive, goes down. Nice falls, that's the defuse gone. Just on crashies. 1v1. And time is ticking. Narrate just has to play to the tune of the clock. I think it's too far gone, surely. Again, similar scenes to before.
Let's go.
Sentinels in the final seconds, holding on.
Ice cold again from Narrate.
Let's go, let's
to
go.
run down the clock here.
ऐसे करना है, ऐसे
Beginning to sweat a little bit. Big investment.
अभी तक कोई तो निकला था चैट
Lockdown,
में.
the res comes through as well.
QT throws.
Tools they've worked towards early on, but John QT just running rings around Fnatic here.
अच्छा स्टंप मारा रे.
In the wall going up, but providing no safety whatsoever.
चल Celsius.
Force an early timeout here from Fnatic once more. Forced to reconsider their approach potentially now. Back down on just pistols. This time around, Blade Storm in hand though, something to offset that slightly. Got the Hunter's Fury as well, but Sentinels off to a flying start here. They're attacking side of Icebox.
And we haven't seen John QT have this level of impact in the previous maps. He's been quiet, he's been doing his job, he leads.
Again, a thankless task to be on this role.
It certainly is. But to see him getting that fire going now is huge for them. That could be a big difference maker here. Again, got to see someone pick that up, and he absolutely has. And overall, the read's been right from Sentinels. This has caused this timeout from Fnatic. They need bigger planned solutions. That pressure early on B has been hard to get reads behind. I liked what Boaster did there to check behind it. Then almost second guessing of maybe Narrate's utility coming back in. It's been a lovely game.
They're almost anticipating that that's the plant coming through. You could see still questioning that. So crucial work from Boaster, but unfortunately coming apart at the seams in the final few seconds of that round. We'll hear of the orb. Blade Storm pop, but negated early on in the round.
There's 3 players pinged on the knife too, so big info, even in a round like this. You can see the instantaneous rotate from Kayak, maybe trying to offset the expectations. After being identified early on the knife. But Sentinels still going to be taking their pathing towards this A side of the map. Alpha taking a glance down middle, seeing no one on the cross, and it is going to be this A side here. Sentinels down, you can scale up well, keep it clean. Crashies does have the Sheriff, but Protocol's already been cleared. Easy work for them on the site. The plant next on the cards. This is, as said, concise work. Celsius could be author. There's Kayak now coming around. Contact swing, it's nice. Good synergy between the 2 players there. Bang next potentially in line. Does have the help from Zekin if required. Oh! No help needed apparently on that one for Kayak. That's all his. Where's that counterbalance of the pressure from CT? There it is! Crashies catching John QT. Now Zekken and Narrate split in this, trying to fight it forward. Narrate finds a corner to play from a kayak. Deliver! Yes! Beautiful from Fnatic against the odds again.
It's a blade storm to carve out this round. The MasterCard Thrifty converted here. Fnatic find their second. Strip away any of that comfort Sentinels were trying to establish. Actually humbling the economy. The bait and switch perfect between Alpha and Kayak, and continues further, finds 3 on the round. Massive value in a Thrifty.
Come on! What are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
Nice! A bit more energy on stage as well.
They need
Much
that too.
Needed in the decider.
Don't want to see him go quiet now. Again, Sen, hometown favorites pretty much at this point, right? Regional on their side, but actually Crash's blind connection gets the rain. That's a huge scalp to claim. And straight through him, he tries to dash. Boaster body blocking him out on towards Zekken as well. This is getting rough around the edges. Sen not having the same sort of success on the starts this time.
Make it very difficult to recover anything here. John QT down to 20 HP. Stinger and 2 Sheriffs. Sentinels to pin their hopes to here in round 7. Want to do what Fnatic just did. Layering of util. Aren't coming through just yet, so
kind of difficult now, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say that information could be key to Sentinels, but still. Kayak eyes trained. Chronicle just on guard as well, on the front line.
Last one throw in to dissuade Kayak, but feels very indicative still of this pathing towards the B site, right?
30 seconds
Kron
left.
getting curious. Spots out one, there's more. And yeah, he's farming them up now. Fnatic keeping 5 standing. A valuable timeout for them. Just had a moment ago, getting them back on the same page.
The connection here, and off rip with the Hunter's Fury. I'm not sure if it was the snake bite or actually the had the snake bite coming through. And again, the rain just squishy as anything.
Seconds left.
Away, and again, it's a risk-free approach to an anti-eco effectively. Sure, you could argue it's a big ultimate to draw out, but for round conversions here for Fnatic to keep within touching distance here of Sentinels who
Again, if you're looking at Sen here, they do have 4 ults all to play. So if they have maybe something they want to run here, a set play in mind with these ults, Mike, they could certainly do it. But also they need that ethos check-in, right? Maybe a little bit of a change up here.
Potentially here, something with the lockdown, with the Hunter's Fury being used on the anti-eco. So
very true.
After this, maybe look towards a set piece. Obviously, the easier one in that regard. But plenty of tools. The age-old lockdown into a pit. Oh, actually the operator. Curious to see how Kayak does approach some of these. He's back on the board, struggled early on, but certainly with the 3K on the Blade Storm, he'll be feeling himself.
Also good to get that momentum building back for themselves too. There's a drought of rounds, right? That conversion, when you're looking at the bonus, can really knock you for 6. That can take that confidence out straight away. And Sen would have been grinning about that one. They were up out of their chairs early. You saw it very quickly how much impact Narrate was having. John QT doing really well. Now Fnatic showing signs of life. 3 to 4. Timeout called from Sen. But plenty of cards to play now.
Might even be a mid-piece here. 3 players stacked up onto this barrier. Not necessarily seen any presence shown just yet, and Zekken not necessarily struggling, but a slow start here on Icebox on the Omen. Just with the turret early on, so just forcing the adjustment. Can't sit back on that util. Will draw the eyes of both Boaster and Alpha. Kayak tucked in with the operator here.
Maybe a nicer line to work off if that Dizzy is coming in. He can at least kind of duck into a bit of cover, maybe not give away the position.
You know, almost with this setup anticipating the lockdown to be used. Right, Ansi gets a tag on a second front, second down to 3 HP.
That was almost 2. Oh, big catch there as well, though. Can anyone save him? No one's nearby. Oh my good God, if someone hunts this. They're not close enough to catch him. Respect having to be given by the lockdown layered. So a reset here, but a man to the good Fnatic. The post plant strong though. Zekin's HP is a factor. Only on 3 at this point. But they're playing on site here. They're not backing away.
We'll concede this space, obviously, with the wall being a factor in the retake. Straight off of U2 and actually no progress made for Balss. He finds Zekin.
That's part of the front line gone. You're now looking at John QT. You're looking at Narrate to pick up that next layer of slack here. Narrate going to fall back towards base. John QT not clean enough to get it instantly without a trade. Crash is taken away. Narrate! And Balss is brought to the knees. Crashies doing so well there. And Fnatic pulling off the retake. They want the crowd up on their feet too. Supposed to put it on a show, as are Fnatic now.
Fnatic जीत गए तो जो लौड़ लगा था पोस्टर मजे आया तेरे पे देख
from the table. It's rough as well for Zekin. I think this snake bite lands and he just has to eat it. Yeah. Down so low because that operator tag. Crashes. Beautiful cleanup from him. All tied up now. 4 apiece.
That feels good after a timeout too. That was meant to be tailor-made, right? That was the best plan coming in. Maybe called by Kaplan, maybe more of a conversation from John QT, but it was that conversation, and here's a switch up.
As soon as Sentinels show presence on mid now, Fnatic actively looking to counterbalance that.
Here.
Show their faces and plant their flag, and actually post back on a very deep angle behind this A site. Set up here from Sentinels.
Sen still have, okay, they still got the Viper's pin on Bang, they still got Zekin as well onto that TP, but Crashy, big info here. And at the same time, Alpha strikes, brilliant combination, but an answer back. There it is, John QT starting to fire up too. Front line hero, John QT! The Kayak!
Spike
You're
down
not gonna
A.
do this, are you? A 1v3? A 1v3 Kayak, really? Oh, you can't say he didn't try, but Zelsis calm under pressure, and Zen taking a step back in this now.
Absolutely dismantling this A site hold. Crash is caught completely off guard by John QT scaling up so quickly underneath him. That's Alpha unable to tuck his tail and dip out of sight. A beautiful shot follow up actually. John QT to find his third. Sen find a response here after 3 unanswered rounds. Do still have the pit. So with a TP from Zekin as well. Now back on the res for Chronicle, so not many ultimates in play.
John's just got his though.
Yeah, make that an extra one. Ult command now for John QT. Fnatic have found their space once more in mid. Back in the same position, but this time able to play in the cut effectively.
Again, he was on that flank before. He was quick to it too, so this feels like it's likely, even though maybe Alpha trying to break the turret gives them sense of There's nothing good about that. That was quick as hell. Kayak takes away the hero of the previous. John QT down. That's also the ult remove. That's a big piece of the puzzle. They could play on site if they want to. It looks like they fancy a bit of that. Alpha's still there. Up towards Rasters. Not this time. Bang! Fast himself. Now trying to scale up cleanly. Alpha can deny the plant. And now problems for Sen. Got to put bodies behind this here.
Now actually Fnatic can try and reinforce the hold here. Alpha under a ton of pressure, but he's not cleared.
They just sent the paranoia and didn't clear it. That's not good enough, but still a 2v2. Spike in hand, and TP is out of there. Zekin wants safety. Secure plant is what he'll get.
Big gap between him and his teammate. Zelsis now picking up the pace a little bit. Crashes and Boaster paranoid of a lurk. Sentinels able to regroup here.
Crashies has key utility. So much to play in here. Still paranoid about maybe closer players. Zekken waiting, swings it, spotted, TP's out, gets away. Boaster trying to creep forward, couldn't step in time, and now down to crashes in a 1v2. It's looking like
let's go!
Back in charge!
Let's go, public!
Totally in sync
nice
there
TP
from Zelsis and Zekken. Safe
Nice
plant
TP,
comes through on the back of the TP. Zekken able to get the hell out of dodge. Beautiful adjustment here from Kayak, but gets Alpha maybe one more from this position. Makes it a little easier, but it's Chronicle falling there, standing to face Zekken. That opens this up. And Sentinels follow through, 6 on the board for them.
Placing swamp grenade.
Rifles except for the Bladestorm here on the side of Fnatic. No command and a pit here for Sentinels. It's only Boaster on guard here on B main.
They're trying to speed up, it looks like, with Fnatic clearing out deeper towards A so they can free up the rotations, but he is in a really precarious spot, Mike.
So with the ultimate here from the rate to pave the way. Spam coming through from Boaster, but not finding anything. Actually, yeah, bang, sorry.
He took a lot of
That's
damage.
10 HP.
And Alpha's still really close by here. Considers the swing and oh, it's huge! Denies the plant and gets a body dropped. Right now on the way, Sen need to really secure this. Almost turtle up for a second. Pause, trying to catch a player. Kayak, careful. He doesn't want to overdo this, but Sen now scrambling forward. Spike back in hand. A punish! What is that? Quan and Boaster both in unison. Just cashing the push-up. Punishing Sen, wanting that safety. Leaving Zelsis in a 1v4. Not a hope in hell. Fnatic nearly getting back on level footing.
But defend kaise re baba?
Boaster happy to stand his ground here initially.
Lotus खेला तो अच्छा है इससे अच्छा तो लाइनअप डाल के मार के मस्त सुकून से.
Again, it's the timing of some of these gunfights that Fnatic choose to take just catch Sentinels completely off guard. I mean, some of these kills coming through. A little PS, unfortunate for Sentinels, but so that chip damage really paying off.
Big ult still here for Fnatic too. Rez online for Quan. Alpha's got his and crashes. That's 3 heavy hitters. On the other side, you have Bangs there. Didn't really get the chance in that last round to bring it in after being taken so low. See the rate used his, as did John QT. So, scaling up as expected. This is something we've grown used to now from Sen. Oh, Boaster, careful. Always caught that timing, but from afar, that is gorgeous from Crashies. Good connection, couldn't quite find another, but big info and big damage.
2 tags here, right down to 45, QT down 70. Bang on a stinger now implies. So going to try and get close and personal in his pit.
जाना पड़ता है दिखा मेरे को ए तो जाना पड़ता है नहीं तो बी पे तो क्या लॉकडाउन है.
It's a cut sound here from Sentinels, but Fnatic not moving. There's no threat elsewhere with Kayak posted up with the operator.
He's got that nice deep line on the other side. He feels strong enough to sit for one. Here's that lockdown. Put them under a little bit more pressure to play out towards yellow. Get a bit closer here. Force their hand. And Boaster prepared for it. Zekken trying to make a bit of a play on the back, but no. Plant's going to come down nice from Narrate. Viper's Pit laid in, but Alpha fast. He's closed the gap quick. Oh, what is that from Narrate? The hero set needed. John QT, just a shot in the back of Crashies. We noted how far away Kayak was. But what is that? What in God's name is that? But it may be for nothing. Kayak would have to be a hero, and it's not going to happen today. Zelsis keeps Sen in the lead on this
जॉन क्यों दीवार के पीछे सुकून से बैठा तो उसको कहां से मार दिया लट्टू बन के.
Between the two, exactly what we wanted in this map 3.
इन्हें का छुरी में मरी यार बूस्टर. अल्फा से फ्री में मरा. लक्की मरा रे. Sen for the win. Hope so. detective here. Let's go. Or Launa. Stressing because I support both teams. Why are you doing? Time runs out of crashes again. Second time है ना sunset में भी ऐसी चल रहा है. Hashtag Valorant Masters. Send for the win. Send for the. जीतो भाई जल्दी जीतो.
5-7. Fnatic putting up a fight, but Sen staying in control. Now on the side switch here. Do you have faith in Sen closing this now, or is there enough left in the tank?
Now I'm chilling.
Tall order. We always talk about Fnatic never ever out, regardless of scoreline.
क्या प्लान बना रहा
है?
Zekken duelist है
discussion to be made.
Zekken घुसेगा defense है ना.
An advantage here in the first half. Certainly a concern. John QT standing tall and proud. Top of the board here for Sentinels. Maybe asking for a little more from players like Zekken and Bang, who numerically usually deliver.
I support you.
Flexing onto the Omen for Zekken. I wouldn't say opportunities limited, but certainly seen other duelists really shine in that role. That is a comfort factor or not.
The Coinbase Eco report, of course, you can see there the Crash is leading by quite the margin, it looks like. So, bang for the buck.
Certainly is. See what the approach is here from Fnatic in the second half.
7-5 है ना?
Whether or not Kayak be able to continue to keep Fnatic in this. See safety in this composition as well. We're looking for clean plants, able to reset away from the back of the wall, really from Chronicle here in the pistol round.
8-4 switch. I remember.
Here we go, right into it in the second half. We're in the final map between the two. Sen now on the defending side, of course, Fnatic.
Final map, final
pick
half.
It up on attack. Slow and methodical beginning. You have to get used to that tempo. We know that Fnatic play at their own pace. The Knife going to find nothing after John QT's early contact.
And certainly in terms of pacing as well, it's not going to be any surprises in how Fnatic approach this. This composition. But giving up A here, maybe toying with the idea of exploration towards mid, or some pressure coming through, but Boaster now.
This could be an issue.
Certainly could. Happy to sit back and play towards a retake here. Deep investment of the wall actually. Now Swarm's popped.
Easy retake karti Sentinels.
We'll be able to get the plant here regardless.
Or 5v5 post plant in pistols. God damn. Here we go. Double stacked up.
Sentinels ka retake dekho.
Sorry, triple stacked.
तीनों line of fire में मरते.
It's like, can't get away from my man. How dare you? Need to find some security here, though. I do want to see them stabilize for this post plant.
There's no flank coming through either, so this is all in from Sen.
Christ, look at that paranoia. If they were a little bit closer, it could have been lethal. But Fnatic still hold the numbers, and the smoke is wondrous to work in. Narrate can't quite find him, leaving just Celsius outgunned here and outnumbered. Fnatic getting the first.
On the board here, and Boaster on his feet.
उसके बाद देखा तो देखे.
Well, they might tie things up here.
Kick
off the second half.
Again,
well, that's going to be the approach, or just the pistol round here. Sentinels. You can check that if you allow Fnatic to get this clean plant, reset back into deep post-plant positions. Really bang that can cut sight lines here with the wall. But plenty of tools for Fnatic to lean back on. Narrate play side once more. Actually, yeah, maybe looking like a little bit of aggression towards B main, but utility down from Alpha, going to keep that in check.
Yeah, it certainly should do. He only has the Ghost. And actually, his util starts getting cleared, so he's feeling that there's someone nearby, but they're already rotating. But by now, look how close Fnatic are. And there's big guns out on display. Kron's got one, Kayak's got one, and so does Crashies. Simplistic approach, Mike. They're not making too much of it. Alpha going to catch Zelsis trying to hit that rotate round on the flank. And we're into 3 players remaining. For Sen, this wasn't a round you were expecting to win.
Certainly not.
Give a try. They
can't do any damage, but with the smoke coming up and really huddled outside heaven, don't expect them to be charging on here, maybe feeding into ultimates that make Fnatic's life even easier. Alpha's on the hunt though.
Hello. Oh, how's he doing that?
Falling now, actually Crashies following through here, but certainly don't want to lose the rifle now. If Boaster was up here, potentially with the stinger. Different story, but 4 survive, and Alpha just bringing a Ghost in here, like I said, coming forward, finding a kill outside B main, and then falling.
Yeah, ticking the box.
Extra kill. Decent progress made.
We're all even, Michael. 7-7.
Big buy round here.
Yeah, and I want to talk about pressure between these two, because normally it is a bigger conversation, right? And yes, it is still a chat, maybe with Kayak in that sort of mix. Maybe at best. But these are experienced legacy teams, right? I know from the original iterations, it is only Boaster still standing. But these are the big boys, right? When you're talking about these 2 teams, none of them are slouches by any means. They should be able to keep their heads calm, keep themselves cool under this pressure. It's now tied all even. It is game on between both of them.
I don't think Knife catching on anything here. Zekken posted up, clean on the first.
Nice one, Ray.
Very different way, but and a 45 HP does have the regen. No res here for Chronicle. So we'll have to continue plow on as 4. Zekken setting up for the paranoia. Yes, slow work once more from Fnatic.
They've been testing Sentinels' patience the entire game, it feels like. Zelsis rewarded as well. Locked in towards punishing middle. Alpha slipped ahead, but there's still utility here. Yeah, maybe if they got Zelsis down, it'd be a different scenario. It's not the case. So what's the game plan? So scattered throughout this, Mike.
Is Alpha rewarded here? He's actually not dealt with the turret. He's waiting for maybe somebody to show. Now have a chance over the top of Boiler, potentially. Yeah, Boaster can lurk ahead here with the Poison Orb. I mean, they can almost pinch onto B.
Oh, Zekken
finding success.
You thought you had a better shot at it, but it is still Zekken stood there. Everyone else from Sen went over towards A pretty much. And Fnatic not getting any fair fights, it feels like, for them. They have to dig so deep for these players. Smart work. Nice. But again,
10 seconds.
To try and get any further would be surprising. Yeah, caught up in his own utility, really making a mess of that. But a Kron 1v4, perhaps not to be. Nice spacing from Sen, and the awareness here, Mike. I mean, it's not flashy Valorant at this point, but Sen know exactly how Fnatic are trying to play this.
Sure, certainly just trying to force the hand of Sentinels, force them into being decisive themselves, but this mid piece really rough. I mean, if you don't find an engagement,
let's go, boys, come on.
It's tough to then just charge towards B because Zekken has so much space. There's nothing to kind of pick up the slack towards B main. Operator in the hands of Alpha, yeah.
That's what we did on Chamber.
Yeah.
But we know that Boaster can op. Obviously, Kayak can op. Alpha, let's see if he's got it on the Killjoy here. Again, Rez is there for Kron. Narrate up towards 410 though. Willing to hold belt. The rest of the map, they're getting curious. Down B long, wanting info. Zelsis is still patrolling towards mid, but they're close on this A site now.
Kayak relaying information there with the sound cue, but probably unaware of Bang's position here.
Middle East and Africa.
Actually, they'll jump over the top there, surely spotted by Narrate. They do drift away. Yeah, very sweaty Valorant here.
Oh, yeah.
Just waiting for a peek to punish, but able to actually push deep enough to get a wall up.
Any swing? No, couldn't get a swing off that. Thought maybe with the dizzy going up, they could have maybe caught someone, but still held towards backside. The plant's gonna come down, but they're so close here. Bang, considering the punish. But Kayak got his buddies back. That's a fumble though.
Kajak को ही damage दिया रे बाबा.
No pressure coming through there because Kayak ain't that vulnerable.
Ooh, this is getting really tense, Mike. You can see it, you can feel it. Drifting closer, Paranoia goes in, but an early swing from Bang goes down. Effective trading for Fnatic. Trying to take back from the site. Zek can't stick the landing. Second falls. John QT forced to back away. Scaling up well together, trading in well if they felt that presence. But this style, Fnatic happy to play with.
Bear in mind, Sentinel said they were expecting this, right? This is how they knew Fnatic were going to approach today. Fnatic seeming to find some success with it in the second half. It's so tense in some of these situations because you can see Sentinel's almost just apprehensive of when to pull the trigger on some of this utility and get the ball rolling.
Oh, short poster.
Maybe some early round aggression to remove some of that comfort with so many bodies standing.
He's evolved. But it's probably the reason for this timeout. Again,
absolutely is, yeah.
This tempo and pace, like, I mean, if you look at regionally, like Americas, there are teams that play to this sort, I don't want to say to this extent, but they do play a more methodical game style, but they can then scale up, they do play like a bit of a more variety to it. You look at G2 who are kind of the, you know, very, I guess, meticulous in approach, a little bit more patient, and obviously
they really
slow,
are.
very steady.
This is way slower than actually traditionally we see. Smiling into that approach.
I mean, how many 5v5 post plants have we had at this point, right? No, it's every step is very hard fought for, very cautious. I mean, Alpha was up on towards pipes with that operator deep before even contact happened. That was, you know, it took so long to get there. So Sentinels maybe needed to check in, get their heads straight on here. And so far.
It's just not there for Sentinels either.
Alpha they're off,
bringing the Sheriff to the party here. It's only really second with Bang sitting with anything notable in the bank behind this. Super of the orb though. Getting the rate just one away. So maybe a little bit of aggression as I said, but Alpha will find second. Strips away that Kayak doubles down.
Oh, it's clean stuff here. That's what happens when you try and get aggressive against this sort of pacing. Kayak now caught though, denied by the Dizzy. Narrate trying to puff out the chest a bit, try and control that space. He's done very well.
And this is the sort of round that Fnatic are almost baiting Sentinels into playing.
That's the dream. Oh my god, Alpha. Bang took a step. He was like, maybe I can help out Narrate. Maybe not. And Alpha combat operating up the line. Narrate tries to take a second target inside Kayak, looks a little easier.
Still swinging though.
Yeah.
Plant hasn't come through just yet. Kron does have the res, so look to maybe get Kayak back on his feet. Not necessarily needed here, as we can see on the minimap. Celsius and Narrate probably considering the save already. A 2v4. Certainly not comfortable. Would feel like a roll of the dice. Let's try and get this started.
This has to be a mentality reset as well for Sen.
Because
Fnatic look locked into this. And they just tested out what it looks like if we go a bit aggressive.
Yeah, like I said, this is the sort of round that Fnatic are almost begging Sentinels.
Oh, come on. Yeah, have a
dangling a carrot.
Hey, you want to take some map control? You want to get an early
Stop
pick?
us from sitting outside this site.
Please. I dare you. And well, they tried. And you saw how well that went. So Sentinels need other options. They need to go deep into the playbook, get a good grip on what's going on here. But it's hard, it gets riskier and riskier as the game goes on. Fnatic now up on 9 as the slow and steady march back into this series carries on here. And look at it again, so aware, so ready, and so quick though from Kayak.
Oh, short.
My ultimate is ready.
Just frustrating as well.
फिर से
These
भाई
sorts
कर
of
रहे
rounds
लोग
becomes harder and harder to justify that aggression with the finances, the inventory.
इको करने का कुछ
Really,
है ही
the
नहीं
bigger
इरादा इन
picture
लोगों का
cost of that. Now with Fnatic knocking on the door of double digits here. Need I remind you, the decider and the elimination on the line for two big names here in Toronto.
They're trying to get a bit up in their face again. And if I don't say it feels obvious, but it feels like they're trying to then say, okay, Fnatic, okay, come on, re-clear, do the same sort of thing. We're ready this time. They've got 3 players here now, actively looking.
निकाल लो रे पट्टों को ये राउंड तो भी नहीं तो नेक्स्ट इको है इको खत्म उसके बाद तो मसला नेक्स्ट तो इको करना ही पड़ता कैसा भी 10 लेवल 8 के बाद ओ खत्म फिर मसला
And the silence feels so oppressive, doesn't it? Because you've still got Alpha's ult here. If they want to invest it, they can. They can leave this late and punish this push-up potentially. They don't like what they're feeling here. Something feels off.
Leave Alpha posted here and maybe consider a rotation. Or even just find contact elsewhere on the map.
But it's hard to have confidence even in the lack of contact because of how they're playing this.
Got to do something quick though. Down to 30 seconds and
21 sound
again confirmation of 2 members.
जो मेन लोगों का उन लोगों का डिटेक्ट हो गया
20 seconds.
Yeah, this is looking a little weird now. They've got to just run onto B site and plant.
Celsius, get ready! 10 seconds! And the spike is still down towards B long and what? Fnatic, that is outrageous! You're getting away with this! Zek and John QT and Narrate nearly during this round, surely! Good lord, how they meant to be this close for so long. Zek still trying to find a player here. But you've still got Alpha's ult if needed. Yeah, they clear close, but that deeper line, that operator still in play. Paranoia is there, Flash still there, but they got to get going. Hell, they had to have cleared yellow by now. It feels, look at Boast's position, almost offsetting Zekan's. And yeah, it absolutely has, because John QT felt safe and secure, but Zekan now outnumbered. And again, Fnatic
सेंटिनल्स को समझ ही नहीं पा रही बेचारी
चलो
जीजी नेक्स्ट इको लेवल 9 लेवल 8
I mean, that just looks so uncomfortable. You come back just as Chronicles making this cross in mid. It certainly doesn't feel like Fnatic are teed up to convert.
Last one down.
But then 2 kills found and things crumble
GG
for Sentinels.
I'm getting a bit nervous now. I'm nervous, yeah, look at this, look at the timeline.
I mean, look at the purchases as well now, forcing back in on this. Nothing left in the bank.
This is going to test Sentinels, their mental, over and over.
Like you said, it's almost like to force Sentinels to make these desperate decisions late round. Because they're just left guessing.
And Fnatic will be reveling in this, won't they? Loving it. Knowing that they've got that time always on their side, even though it felt so late. Now we look at what Sentinels can do to try and hold this back. Double stacked up towards that kind of top and lower side. Nice from Narrate. Takes away Kayak. Here we go.
You will not kill my
again, that res has been in the back pocket for some time. Zek goes back in. Brings it back to the grave, and you're right. Where was the support in this?
It's almost into the game plan here, this comp. You can allow somebody to take a hyper-aggressive peek, but that res has to be safe.
Stalling out. Oh! You madman, Alpha! You should never be able to get away with it, and he does! Locked down now on top, 35 seconds, but we've seen how late they run this. Hell, they could be going B for all we know.
30 seconds left.
Locked down now, can secure the cross for the plant, and Alpha is feeling absolutely out of his mind in this round. Still dug in deep here, Kron watching that top side, forced away, angle better for Sen. Hard fought 4 steps here though, and Alpha getting left more and more on an island. He can't escape. Bang removes. A heartbeat found in the Sentinel side. But Crashies and Kron still standing. Smoke on the spike should draw the attention. They're playing it calm. Now the second attempt at the defuse. Composure from Kron. Oh, it's stunning. The reveal is perfect. This is outstanding from Fnatic. Zekken has to try master and he can't! Another stride from Fnatic!
रिवील तो तोड़ लेते भाई खत्म GG.
Just the mental of Sentinels has to be broken in tatters from how these rounds play out.
Look
with
at
Alpha doing things like that.
God, they played this so well.
Oh भगवान ये तो easy था रे.
Good God.
Alpha up at 21 and 12.
Yeah.
Having a standout performance here. Bladestorm here, Pit here, Hunter's Fury. The other side for
खत्म रे. अब तो खत्म रे.
Watching him is like poetry in motion today. Lethal about it though. Feels like he can't miss, and Sentinels silence.
Next round भाई नहीं अब तो next round तो ये लोग के पास.
They've got to dig deep here. They're gonna need someone to ignite a spark.
Utility littered ahead of Alpha there. Boasted to coming through and probably plant the seed of a B site hit. It's Fnatic now heading that direction. Alpha finds another John QT will fall. Just 3 left standing now for Sentinels.
I mean, Alpha feels like he can do no wrong, right? The game feels perfect to him. In his mind, it's playing out as he dreamed. Zelsis is desperate to find impact, but the wall's already there. So the plant's going to come down, and Alpha goes hunting. They've been conditioned over and over. Sentinels, mental must be on the ropes at this point.
Placing swarm grenade.
How do they fight back in to try and deny 12? I don't know if you can.
No, I mean, it looks like as if they might even consider the pit. Certainly going to force Sentinels into a position where they have to hold on to these weapons. They forced up once more.
GG.
Second, nothing in the bank. John QT, 100 credits. Ultimates to play with, but Alpha's on the hunt.
He's having a worldy game, is Alpha. Oh, God! No one can stop him right now. Look at that smile. Look at this man. He's still going. Even Jake's up. Even Boaster stood behind him just watching this happen. Gets caught in the end, but that is just madness we are seeing here. Kron found narrate 2 at the very end, Mike. This might be a death rattle from Sentinels of a second half. Fnatic on the verge of sending them home. And a monstrous performance from Alpha.
But 24 and 13. A map where previously some of his greatest moments. And look at that timeline.
Good God.
Just one blip along the way.
He's still on the outlaw.
Who knows as well, because the purchase is so uncomfortable for Sentinels.
And the deeper knife might be giving away that they tried to play up to this. Fantastic. Dark gonna come in, this kayak ready though. Players nearby, they swing. Sentinels digging deep here. Desperate to hold on the spray, not gonna do enough. They get to live. First time they draw first blood without a quick trade.
Chronicle no res here either. So can't get kayak.
बिना हमारे पहली बार गया ना.
Alpha still on the hunt. Scope in hand.
I'm terrified.
फिर से मारता रे ने.
So should Sen. For now he carries on. The disrespect. No fear shown from Alpha this game. He's drawn 3 players just to deal with him.
Look at the respect he's commanding. In terms of util, in terms of pressure. To try and shut him down. Gets a heal as well. So back into a much healthier position now.
35 seconds though. And Zen have the man advantage. It feels like we've been saying this for the first time in a while. You can see the Crash is trying to draw them away from this A side. Yeah, they're learning their lessons here. They've had to learn it the hard way, but 20 seconds, it can still go any which way.
Placing swarm grenade.
Alpha, the one to be stepping in here. Paranoia perfect. Fantastic
nice one.
From Sentinels. Second and bang when they need them most, doing enough here. I don't think Kron and Crashies can do much now. A lifeline given. Second gets away as the clock ticks. Sentinels stay alive.
Trying to just prevent potentially the upgrades here, but Zelsis will come through. 2 with the Stinger. Up to 9 now. 3 left to find and walking the tightrope. In terms of the economy here, Kayak's removed early on from this proactivity. Sentinels just showing grit and resilience here.
And bravery, Mike, to go for that play.
Nice kills, boys. That's fine. Nice kills, boys. Let's go.
To be able to kind of keep themselves feeling in this after what's been a very hard half. You can see the scoreline yourselves. We go back through a 12-9. Sen. It always feels like there's something with this team. They can pull it back from the brink, but Fnatic right now are deadly. Alpha at a new high almost. And the weight of the world here, if it does go towards B, is on Zalsis' shoulders. The one man on this site. Yes, John QT could catch a cross. Easy. But this is a lot.
अपने आंसू छुपा लो गाइस तुम लोग तुम्हारे मेरे से देखे नहीं जाते आंसू
Finest of margins are able to slip through.
Oh my god.
Turret dealt with, but it's actually Boaster underneath Tube, so a little bit of misdirection here. Celsius, yeah, he's hook, line, and sinker, Lauren.
That might be enough. They've got the keys to the castle now. They've got the full site. They don't even know the level of success they've just found. This could be heartbreak for Sentinels, but they're going to give it everything they have. But the final boss of Alpha has just caught bang. Kayak,
GG guys.
the Guardian on duty, takes away Zekken. As John QT and Narrate have to face the music, and it's playing to Alpha's song right now. Narrate digging deep, but it's not going to be enough. Fnatic came, saw, and conquered.
सेटिलर्स यार दिल से बुरा लगा रे सेटिलर्स आज तो निकल ही गए
Icebox once more, Lauren. Their hometown for sure.
नहीं होगा भाई सेटिलर्स ऐसे तो चलो गाइस कल से नई टीम ढूंढना पड़ता सपोर्ट करने के लिए कल वैसे भी मैच नहीं है कल कुछ अलग स्ट्रीम करेंगे सीधा मैच है पेपर एक्स का वो दिन आएंगे वो दिन बेस्ट ऑफ 3 रहता हूँ शायद 20 तारीख को चलो कल परसों मैच नहीं है चलो गाइस तब तक टेक केयर गुड नाइट बाय